Hello everyone, it's hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at Tru Heel Heat. Yeah!
Another crazy week in the wrestling world, and it's Saturday morning. You know what that means. It's time for some Tru Heel Heat. We are here to discuss CM Punk potentially not returning to AEW, talking about a non-compete clause because they fear he may return to WWE. A crazy week, MJF, William Regal promos, Hangman Page's injury, plus much, much more. It's Krissy Love, it's SP3. This is Tru Heel Heat. Let's hit the intro. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube and Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 198. How did we get here? We are here to discuss the latest wrestling news, including CM Punk talking with AEW in talks for a possible contract buyout, and what's the potential of him returning to WWE. Plus, me and Krissy will reflect on the year of CM Punk in All Elite Wrestling. Carl Anderson pulled from New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle Autumn in favor of going to WWE Crown Jewel. Recap of this week's shows with AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT going head to head, Raw, Smackdown, Rampage, AAA, Triplemania 30, and Impact on AXS TV, plus final predictions for NXT Halloween Havoc. I am here with the beautiful, the lovely, the princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krissy Love.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone is well. Hope everyone had a great Friday. Oh, God. This CM Punk stuff is just too good to be true, friend. Oh, man. Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm just lost for words, to be honest.
Too good to be true would not be the words I would be using.
Too good to be true, man. I don't understand it. Like, no, I said we should have known it was too good to be true. Like,
yeah, that's
what I mean. Like,
true.
It's just like all our hopes and it's just shattered. It's just like, a nice vase and you drop it and it's just like in peace. It's in shambles.
I think our good friend Stephanie Chase, who we've had on the show many of times, put it best. It was like, if you know CM Punk and you're a fan of CM Punk, you live with the fact that this man is forever have his finger right above the self-destruct button, and he's always ready to press it.
Ready to press it. It's that Bow Wow meme, like when they wait for the elevator, you press it. Yup, that's the Bow Wow. He can't keep his hand off the button for some strange reason. I don't get it.
He is perpetually always ready to self-destruct, and
he's his worst enemy. He's his own worst enemy. It's nobody but him. Now we have to realize that it's just him. It's no one else. It's him.
We're going to talk all about that, plus everything else in the wrestling world. But we want to hear from all of you. We appreciate you all for joining us for our flagship podcast, Tru Heel Heat, 198, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, every single Saturday. So show your appreciation back by dropping a thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content content here. We're going to be closing off October with the boom as we go into November, Miss Krissy Love. So we got to start off the show with a few announcements, because next Saturday is Tru Heel Heat 199, the penultimate episode before Tru Heel Heat 200. I believe you're gonna be on vacation, aren't you? Gonna be, Krissy Love, next Saturday?
I will be on vacation. I'm leaving next Saturday. Yes, friends, I'm sorry I will not be here. I apologize in advance. I'm taking my children away so I can be considered a good mom. So, you know.
Don't worry, though. You can still join us, because I replaced this beauty with another beauty, a beautiful man by the name of Set E Nyangi.
Nice.
He's going to be joining us on Tru Heel Heat 199 next week, talking about this coming week in professional wrestling. Then the following Saturday, November 5th, we're not going to have Tru Heel Heat. For the first time since the pandemic, Miss Krissy Love, we're not going to have a week of our flagship podcast. We are going to focus on, Crown Jewel. We'll do a watch along for that. We'll have the Crown Jewel preview that week, as well as the roundtable review on Sunday. So you'll get plenty of Tru Heel Heat content, but the flagship podcast taking the week off. And then on Saturday, November 12th, is Tru Heel Heat 200. Myself, Miss Krissy Love, and Top Guy JJ will all be reunited for the big 200 episode.
Zero. Yes.
Join us next Saturday and November 12th for the next 2 episodes of our.
Join us all those Saturdays, because we want you to be on the watch along too. So,
that's true. Yes.
You have to you don't leave. You have to stay. You don't have off, but we still have to work. So yes.
Appointment television. Yes, indeed. And of course, as always, for this episode of Tru Heel Heat, sound off in the live chat. This is an interactive podcast. We love the energy that you guys give us every single Saturday. So let us know what you thought about the latest wrestling news in the live chat. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible, but the best way to have your comment highlighted on screen is with a super chat donation. Not only does it allow you to hear the thoughts of myself and Miss Krissy Love on what you have to think, what you have to say in the live chat, it also helps support the channel, helps the channel grow, and helps each and every contributor on this channel. So we always appreciate that. We got Vala B in the live chat who says, "This will be a show, man." He also says, "Yes, Kid Get Money." Oh my God, Kid Get Money. I literally tweeted it. Check the Twitter feed for the Tru Heel Heat Twitter page, Kid Get Money, because I legitimately shouted it out, because I saw it. I think it was during the main event of Roosh, Dark Orders 10, and Orange Cassidy. I literally tweeted out, "Was that a Tru Heel Heat sign that I saw in the crowd?" And Kid Get Money says, "I had my Tru Heel Heat sign in that Jacksonville Rampage crowd last night." Thank you so much. Kid Get Money, you a real one, because you always show your support on AE Ramble, always shouting out the Jags. So I knew you were a Jacksonville resident. I wasn't sure if it was you, but legitimately, please send me the picture on the Twitter page, or if so we can post it. That was awesome. That's awesome. We got King David say, "Yo, Duvall," so another Jacksonville fan here in the live chat here with us.
Yeah.
We got ALW who says, "Yo, SP3 and Miss Krissy Love, hope all is well." We also got here Nick Jackson who says, "Sup SP3 and Krissy, hope all is well." And yes, CM, next Saturday is Set E Saturday. Yes. Yep. Set E Day. And we got a super chat donation to start the show off hot from Vala B, who says, "Man, I got a lot to say about CM Punk, but the short version is AEW didn't lose CM Punk. CM Punk lost AEW. The locker room being anti-Punk ain't unexpected. He tore them down as much as the Elite."
He just ruined a lot of things. I'm just so mad at this. It was like, you guys were winning. You guys had it in the bag, man. Like, you guys were doing so well, and then so it's that one kid in the class that fucks it up for everybody, and then the class can't go.
Yeah.
We can't go to lunch. We had to miss recess because it's those 2 or 3 bad kids make everyone lose, can't go, and we all got to suffer. And that's what's happening. We're all suffering now. Thanks, friend. Like,
They gave him the ball, and he
Yeah,
was
he had it.
he
Yo,
was
he had
pushing
it.
the ball up the hill. He was in the lead. He had everyone else behind him, and then this is what happens. This is what happens.
Nigga's not mad. He's not mad. I'm just disappointed. Yeah.
It's very much sad. We're gonna get into
it's sad. Yeah, it's like I'm not mad. I'm just like we were all rooting. The Tyra Banks. We were all rooting for you, friend. And you do this. Like, come on.
You let us down, man.
You let us down. We were all rooting for you. Sad.
We all wanted you. We all wanted you to succeed.
Yep.
But he didn't want himself to succeed. Thank you for that super chat donation, Vala B. Always appreciate that. Sally, once again, I feel like this is like consecutive weeks, we have to start off the show with a little bit of sad news. Another loss in the wrestling community. Negro Buck Dick Jackson saying it in the live chat, saying also my condolences to Kevin Nash for the loss of his son, Tristan. He passed away this week, I believe in his 20s, I believe 26 years old.
Another one that's just like so young. It's just like, oh my God. It's
very, very young, it's heartbreaking. So our thoughts and prayers out to Kevin Nash, his whole entire family, any of the son's friends for sure, and any fans of Kevin Nash for the loss as well. So definitely our hearts go out to them and our prayers to the family. We got a whole bunch of comments. Keep those coming in the live chat. Like I've been saying the last couple of weeks with the other passes we says, we are here to kind of take you away from that, have a bunch of fun talking about professional wrestling for an hour or two, and then you can get back to reality. But let this be the escape, because we appreciate all of you. We show your appreciation in various ways, like our Tru Heel Roll Call, how we start off every edition of our flagship podcast. Our top 3 conversation starters on the Tru Heels Facebook group page. You got number 3, Jermaine Packman, number 2, Stewie Palmer, and number 1, the Negro Buck Nick Jackson. Our Patreon backers is, of course, Nick Jackson, Vala B, he's already in the live chat, Alan Weinstein, Nick Jackson, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Austin K, You My Boy Blue, Yachty, Robert, Steve, Antoine, Fifth Generation Carney, DJ Eric, Ladarius, John, aka Russell Scopes, Dan Snide, Kobe, and Toy Morgan. Thank you, each and every one of you, for your support on patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. And a reminder, of course, after this edition of Tru Heel Heat later today, you'll have the post show over on Patreon, as well as the Tru Heel Heat Prediction Championship, as we got some shows this weekend with NXT Halloween Havoc, GCW with a few shows as well. But before we get into any of that, we got to get into what we miss. Miss Krissy Love. And let's start off with the good from AEW.
Okay.
Let's start off with the good before we get into the CM Punk news and reflect on AEW Dynamite, which was on a special Tuesday night due to the MLB playoffs this week, Miss Krissy Love. So the ratings went down. They did 752,000 viewers, but they did defeat NXT for the night, so they couldn't take solace in that. The show featured the main event of Jon Moxley defeating Hangman Adam Page after a scary ending with Page taking a King Kong lariat that caused him to land on his head and have to be stretchered out of the building. A very scary scene afterwards. Post-match, MJF revealed that he will cash in his poker chip for a shot at the AEW World title at Full Gear on November 19th. But that followed one of the best promo segments of the entire year, Miss Krissy Love, with MJF telling the story of how William Regal rejected him during his WWE tryout 7 years ago because he was too young, and then Regal schooled him on what being a villain really is, and MJF having still a lot to prove. Chris Jericho beat Dalton Castle to retain the ROH World title. Post-match, Jericho laid out Jerry Lynn with a tombstone on the gold. Tony Storm defeated Hikaru Shida in a really good matchup to retain the AEW Interim Women's World Championship. Post-match, Saraya brawled with Dr. Britt Baker DMD, while Riho, the first ever AEW Women's World Champion, returned to lay out Rebel and Jamie Hayter to set up Hayter versus Riho next week on Dynamite. and Death Triangle defeated Best Friends in a great opener to retain the AEW World Trios Championship, with some dissension being teased with Pac and Ray Phoenix. Miss Krissy Love, what did you think about this week's Dynamite, and how different was it for you watching it on a Tuesday?
I almost forgot again. So thank God that I saw our chat and I was like, oh crap. Now I have to watch 2 shows instead of really watching, like have one watch me, because I, have just NXT playing on in the background as I'm doing stuff before the night.
Yeah.
And so it's like usually like filler noise in the background. So I really had to sit down and like keep changing back and forth. But I was mainly watching. I was watching AEW more importantly.
I mean, they do. We'll talk about NXT. They did throw a lot of main roster stars to try to
to
this
right.
week.
I knew something was up. I was like, oh, this makes sense now. Why they having all these people to mix? They want y'all to watch them on this, but it didn't work. Sorry, guys.
I tried for like the first
I really tried.
I tried for the first hour to watch both, but once MJF and Regal went off, I was like,
it was over. Yeah, I had to keep my TV on. I mean, I did turn back once, maybe twice more after on that like second hour, but I was like fully vested into AEW. Great women's match. I was like, we need more of these. Like, come on, like they have been delivering week after week. I'm not gonna lie, they have been giving matches for the women, even if it's just one. And we're getting one on Rampage too. So we're getting matches besides on Dark. We're getting a match every week. Okay, and they're longer than the usual. So which is good too. They're giving some good bangers week after week. The ladies did very well. Riho coming back, great. Excited. Can't wait to see what happens. And that was scary for Hangman. Because I'm like, can he not move? I'm like, I hope it's not his neck. And then once you start seeing people tweeting out, I was like, okay, this is nothing like fake. I thought it was at first I thought it was just for the match to end. I was like, oh, come on, how you gonna end a match like this, right? But they didn't. And then when John started talking, I was like, oh, okay, this is real. This is much more serious. And then the MJF promo. My God, wow. William Regal still has it. Just amazing. Just wow. Gems on top of gems.
Yeah, I like the way they handled the situation. That's what I want most of all. I think that AEW, especially referee Paul Turner, just how quick he recognized everything.
Yes.
That's what made people think that it was like a work, because he was so fast on top of it, recognizing that something was wrong with Hangman landing on his head, not fully rotating off the King Kong lariat. So I think that referee Paul Turner did an excellent job. The doctor did a great job of just letting him know that the match and they just responded so quickly. It was night and day from All Out 2020 with the whole situation that happened with Matt Hardy there. It was like night and day with how they handled the situation here. And I would say, definitely, I hope that Hangman, gets takes the time to get better as well, because a concussion is very unpredictable. How it can happen, it can fluctuate. You can either, be out for a long time, like an Adam Cole, or maybe be out for a week or two. So you never know with a concussion. So hope that he has a speedy recovery, but takes the time that he needs. But at the same time, I think this finish actually worked out better for Hangman. Because now there's a reason for him to stay in the title picture.
Yep. Like he never lost the match, really. He got injured. So this can once he gets cleared and better, this will make him go back into the whole scene of the championship. Because, I mean, we kind of knew that he probably would have lost, though. Yeah. So, because the whole point of it is to have Jon Moxley go against MJF. Now, I mean, before it was, supposed to be different. But I guess because, CM Punk was on the scene. But now we're going to have John and MJF, which is cool. Thank you, Nick. But yes, definitely very, very scary. And I hope, thank you. But I hope he does get better. And I hope all is well with him. I hope he's resting and just, it helps him stay more like irrelevant for the title scene when he does come back.
Absolutely. And after the great promo that he had the previous week,
right,
his performance, they were well on their way to having a great main event until injury happened.
Right.
we'll talk a little bit more about the status of Hangman coming out of Dynamite here. I did want to highlight a few comments that we have here. Rickety saying some of us never have recovered from our concussion. Yeah, it's very true. Like, it can be a forever thing, or it can be a one day thing. Like,
that's like kind of what Adam Cole is dealing with right now.
exactly. And before him, Bryan Danielson.
Yes,
Kind of a
yes,
similar thing.
yes.
Vala B saying Willow getting signed is the best AEW news of the week. Fucking get it, girl. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, I was so excited seeing that. I was like almost in tears. I was like, that's so she's just awesome. Like, good for her. I hope they give her, you know, the good shine, because she's been on TV every week.
Yeah. I'm just so happy for her. She's really earned it. Like, I wish they could have made it like even a story about her trying to get signed, and you know, the big win in the trios match a couple of weeks ago, and then the win last night against Layla Gray to finally hear that news. I think that she's gonna be someone that they kind of can build the women's division around, because she's so young, so likable, and just a natural baby face that is just not seen in wrestling a lot of times.
Right.
And she's from New York. That also.
And she's from New York. Yes, exactly. Absolutely.
MJF retweeted the all elite symbol graphic, and he was like, "Long Island Zone." Absolutely.
So good.
But yes, it's that time, Miss Krissy Love. It's time to address the elephant in the room with the X on his two wrists. We're going to talk about CM Punk may be out of AEW with a contract buyout. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that CM Punk may be out of AEW because the company is looking to buy out the remainder of his contract. This all stems from the brawl at All Out with the Elite, as well as 8 Steel. It was noted that AEW is still talking with Punk about a return, but it's currently doubtful that will happen. And the talks of a buyout suggest that AEW isn't looking to bring him back. The sticking point in the negotiations is a non-compete clause, which would prevent WWE from scooping him up right away if they wanted him back, or if he wanted to go back. Of course, with Punk currently injured, he wouldn't be able to wrestle again until long after any non-compete clause was over. No one in WWE has any contact with CM Punk, but he is close friends with Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman. Neither AEW nor Punk have commented, confirmed, or denied the news. It's believed that most AEW talent turned on Punk in recent weeks due to the TV promo on Hangman Adam Page, who is well liked backstage. What he said at the media scrum, particularly saying that Page has done nothing in the business when he was a former AEW World Champion and part of some of their biggest shows, and the subsequent brawl. Sean Rossap of Fightful adds that there were some in AEW who thought the company might try to buy out CM Punk's contract immediately after the brawl at All Out. It's unknown if there were plans that far back, but a lot of people in the company thought it was likely to happen. Fightful Select then provided a further update, noting that a contract buyout was mentioned very early in the process based on those close to the situation. But as of the Tuesday following Brawl Out, most around Punk told them that realistically he can't be expected to be back. There were numerous AEW talent who said that they aren't interested in working in a locker room that he's involved in again, unless huge amends are made for how the night made All Elite Wrestling look in general. Since the talent meeting that took place days after All Out, the talent Fightful spoke with didn't expect Punk to be back, but numerous operated on the assumption that he wouldn't be around again. Fightful also spoke with WWE sources who wouldn't comment in an official capacity, but on background provided them with some insight. They said that they didn't think that Vince McMahon would have brought Punk in, especially after Brawl Out, and noted that Fox had pushed for it to happen before AEW signed him. However, the line of thinking that was presented to them under the Triple H regime is that the right situation, right money, and right creative can open the door for anything within reason. One said Triple H wants to be a success and make compelling programming more than anything. CM Punk back in WWE? is compelling programming, but I can't see it being a full-time deal like it was with AEW because of exactly what happened in AEW. That's even if he has interest. If he gets a buyout, he may not need to work ever again. So very developments with this whole brawl out situation. I feel like it's as the brawl out turns with every week there's an update. Further to update, we're going to talk more about the dudes earlier in the week with Ace Steel being released from All Elite Wrestling, as well as on the Tuesday Night Dynamite. Not only was CM Punk shown as a former ROH World Champion during the video package for the ROH World Championship matchup, but the Elite were mentioned on commentary during the World Trios Championship matchup, where they mentioned that the Elite were the first champions. So what do you think about these further developments with the brawl out situation? But more importantly, do you think AEW and CM Punk will work out a contract buyout and we will never see CM Punk in All Elite Wrestling again?
It's unfortunate because it really could have worked out and you know, could have been something really big for CM. I guess they're just tired of it and they've just had enough. And they don't want, especially with the others, they feel like there's more people that are involved that needs to work with him than just him to make the whole locker room happy. So I understand why they want to just, you know, like clean their hands of it, like they don't want to deal with it, because eventually it's going to be where the Bucks and Omega are not going to want to come back. Most likely. I'm sure that's probably a part of it. And it's like Bucks, Omega, CM Punk. Bucks, Omega, CM Punk. It's laying out not in his favor. The other guys are going to stay. They were there longer. They were the original pillars of the company. Yeah. Tony is not stupid. Tony is going to go where he feels it is necessary. He has to keep these apples happy because this one rotten one don't want to get it together.
He's like, just go outside. We don't need you anymore. I mean, it's a very interesting situation. My hope in all of this coming out of Brawl Out was that they can make amends because of how hot and how interesting, intriguing a CM Punk versus Kenny Omega feud would be after this whole situation, and just how much money they're leaving on the table for Punk in general with the matches that they can run back, whether it be him versus Darby when he turns heel, him versus Eddie Kingston when he turns heel, the MJF feud that we were gonna get if he didn't get injured and didn't get into the fight. Like there's all that's being left on the table. Money in the Hangman Page matchup, if they could have worked out their situation and had another matchup. These are all very intriguing matchups because of the information and the real life consequences that we've heard of all of this. So my hope coming out of this was that CM Punk would come back to AEW, or at least.
What if they treat him like a Brock? Like he can come back, but he doesn't have to like work full time. Like he come like for like.
I don't think it's an issue of the schedule. I don't think it's an issue of all that.
No, I don't.
It's the issue of his pride.
It's him. Yes. Well, more so his pride. Yes, but like to keep it where they can still might have these little feuds here and there. Treat him like a Brock. Like give him I know the schedule wasn't bad for him, but it's just so that everyone can kind of like be happy and kind of make amends, because you could have these stories. It's just that he doesn't have to be there every day. Maybe I mean that's the only way I can see it maybe kind of work. Other than that, he's gonna get his papers and they're gonna send him home.
We got CM who says Cody Luther King laughs. He's laughing right now. I don't know this like barely.
He probably is right, but you know, hey.
Vala B with a super chat donation. Thank you so much once again, Vala B, saying, calling it now. This is my new long con prediction. Cody wins the WWE title, demands to buy out his contract to take the belt back to AEW. Long con. That's the long game. The con? Long live the con. You should have spelled con differently. Long con. K-A-N. I see what you did there. We got Romeo, who says Punk on a part-time basis could limit some of the problems he creates.
Right. See,
I don't think it would. Like that's
you don't think
the
so?
same.
You think
That's
it's
the
just
same
it's him
because
being
your
messy?
suggestion is comparing it to Brock Lesnar. That would suggest that Brock Lesnar hasn't made any problems in his part-time status, which he has. So
I'm about to
no,
say that's not.
if
That's,
you're problematic, it doesn't matter how many times you're there.
you're
It's
still
just
a
that you're
problem.
there.
You're there. Yeah. Yes.
You're
This
still
is true.
there.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. You are. You're. Yeah. This is true.
I think that we will reflect on this whole ending. If this is the end of CM Punk in AEW, which right now I am more 50-50 than I ever was before with this latest bit of news. If this is the end of CM Punk in AEW, I think we will look back on this departure even sadder than how he left WWE. It's even sadder because this was everything he could have wanted. He got creative freedom. He basically was the top star. There was no John Cena above him. He was the
Nope.
John Cena.
He
He
was.
was the Yankees, like MJF told him. All those months back, he was helping younger talent. He helped elevate MJF, regardless of what you want to say. MJF would not be one of the biggest stars in the company if not for having one of the greatest feuds in a decade with him and Punk earlier this year. Without that, MJF would not be approaching this mega star status.
Yeah. The status that he put himself on. Yep.
Exactly. Like Punk added a lot of depth and layers to his character. So regardless of, you could say, oh no, he beat this young guy, he beat this young guy, he beat the Hangman, he buried Hangman. There's one young star he can say that he elevated, and that's definitely MJF. And he left us with something memorable with MJF. The stuff with him and Kingston, that promo segment, as well as the matchup at Full Gear. I will always remember that type of stuff. I will even remember the stuff with him and Moxley when he returned. The 3-minute match in Cleveland and then the great match in Chicago at All Out. I remember all these things. I think that it's a very layered conversation as far as how you view CM Punk's run in AEW, but you can't say it wasn't memorable. Regardless of if you think it was good, whether you think it was bad, whether you think Punk, there's people that said that, Punk didn't give anything to AEW, and there's people that say Punk gave everything to AEW, and AEW wouldn't be nothing without CM Punk. The truth is always usually when you go to those type of extremes, the truth is usually in the middle.
Yeah.
Did CM Punk's run hit the heights that we all wish it could have? No. He got injured. It started off a little slow, but when it got going,
it was going.
It was definitely going. He got injured, after winning the championship. Then he comes back. He has to cut that promo on Hangman. Then it gets a little bit muddy and everything. But even like I said, the stuff with Moxley was good. The stuff with Moxley itself, the promo segment with the two, the promo before All Out, the matchup in Cleveland, the matchup at All Out, those all delivered. And in the end, Tony Khan's looking like a very smart man for having Moxley beat Punk in 3 minutes in Cleveland. Because if that feud had went how we all thought it was gonna do, they just did the one undisputed champion match at All Out, and Punk won that one match and then injured and then leaves and then all the mess that he created. John Moxley would not be viewed as the guy that can pick the ball and run with it, because
facts.
Punk did also help elevate Moxley in that way by having him beat him in 3 minutes.
Yep.
So I think that it's definitely. We got a good question here from Romeo. Was it worth it? Was it worth it with CM Punk? Do you think that?
I think it was.
I agree.
I most definitely think it was, because like you just listed down the line the people that he helped catapult, if that makes sense. Like, make them look like the well, we knew John was the top guy, but like now it's like he is the face. He is that brand. That's what it is. MJF, like you had all these people, Eddie King, like all these people were like all these feuds. I think it was worth it. I mean, in the end, it's sad of what the outcome is, but I think it definitely was worth all of everything that happened. Yes.
Yeah. And because honestly, and like we've been saying ever since this whole brawl out situation, sometimes controversy will lead to fans looking at you a little bit more and coming out of brawl out. I would say that AEW on television, because of all the losses and coming more closer as the roster after the talent meeting and stuff, disregarding what happened with Sammy and Andrade.
Right.
Other than that, I would say that the quality of what we're seeing on their television has gotten better. It's been more focused on a few things instead of here's one thing, here's another thing, here's that thing, here's this thing. The pacing is a lot better. I've been thinking that the program, I would say this week's Dynamite, the Tuesday night Dynamite, is one of the top 5 best episodes they've had this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's caused more wrestling fans to look at AEW. 5 out of 7 weeks, they did over 1 million viewers, and a lot of that might be down to them fans looking at AEW like, how are they going to respond to all this controversy with this CM Punk, Jon Moxley thing? So to say that it wasn't worth it, it's even with this nonsense, he's brought more eyes to the product. He was a part of some of the biggest rated shows that this company has had. He was a part of all of the biggest pay-per-views, All Out last year being setting the record to over 200,000 pay-per-view buys. Full Gear last year exceeding what the previous 2 Full Gears did, and then Revolution, Double or Nothing, so on and so forth. Double or Nothing, the first ever $1 million gate that AEW draw. So all of that makes like money, quality, everything. As far as like if you created a checklist, CM Punk's return pretty much checked all the lists except for a graceful departure. That's the only thing that he didn't check the box of.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad because it's like people root for you and you just keep messing. You burning all the bridges that you're creating with people, and I don't even know, quite honestly, if they want to take him back at WWE. Like, it's like, you're cool with certain people, but it's like you're a liability. Where it's like, we can't trust you. We can't even keep. You can't even keep your word. Your word is no longer no good. So it's like, do we really want him to come over here and he can possibly do the same thing over here that he did over there? Like, I mean, I can see the feuds. I can see the feuds he has.
You think there's no possibility CM Punk goes to WWE?
I don't know if Paul is really wanting to deal with that. Like he's supposed to be he's a businessman, not a babysitter. He got kids for that. Like, like.
I ain't ready to babysit the world's biggest 43-year-old baby.
Right. And I don't know if he'd have to have or put it in a contract or whatever. Like, that thing gonna have to be like ironclad. Like, it's gonna have to say, listen, if you do this, the first thing, you are gone. Like, he is like that contract has to be clean, cut, and dry. Like, straight to the point. For if he does go over there, they have to like put a bunch of stipulations in there because no one can trust you anymore.
We can't trust you, bro. I think it would be worth it for WWE as well if they sign.
Absolutely.
That's literally the only guy bigger than Cody and the elite that they could take from AEW to bring to WWE, because it was foreseen as a near impossibility that CM Punk would ever return to WWE. To have him return after he already returned to professional wrestling and AEW, that would be even crazier to me.
It would be a great WrestleMania moment. I promise you it would be great. And I can see the feuds that he could have. It's just, just the other thing in the background where that little devil is like telling him, like, do it. And they trying to tell him not to do it. You got the 2 people on the shoulders and he keep following the other one. And he keep putting the self-destruct, the devil, that one, the little one.
He's like, the devil made me do it.
Yeah.
If you could pick one WWE superstar, if you can only bring CM Punk back for one WWE match, WrestleMania, big time match, big time main event of WrestleMania, make it WrestleMania 40. Say,
okay, 40,
main event, WrestleMania 40, one match with CM Punk. Who would it be?
Seth. No, yeah, Seth. I do Seth.
I pretty much said like
Seth is the only guy I think that would be able to do the Cody. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it makes more sense for it to be Seth Rollins. It makes. Like even Roman is like kind of like, I think Seth is the only guy that is capable of like two heels going after each other. I mean, the promos would be great.
Yeah.
It's the promos for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for the promos 100%. I said, someone asked me like, who would it be? And I said, there's only two guys for me. It would be Seth or Roman. It'd be Seth or Roman. Kevin Owens is a good possibility. Cody is a good possibility. I said I would tend to push Cody down if you gave me another possibility that I would like more, because I've already seen Cody versus CM Punk. I haven't seen this version of Cody versus CM Punk, but I've seen it in WWE, and I don't think even though Cody I'd say is better than he was at that time, I don't think it's gonna be as great as it could have been outside of WWE. So if you gave me options like Seth, Roman, Kevin Owens, I would pick those ahead of Cody.
Yes, all agree.
We also got King David with an interesting one. Stone Cold Steve Austin. He always wanted that one. Austin came back at WrestleMania. It's a possibility.
Okay, sure.
She's like, sure, we could do that.
Right.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Just for the promos and the character work. Great.
Yes.
Not for the match. Bray versus Punk. Yes.
That'd be great. Yes. That'd be a good one.
The cult of personality versus the cult leader. Nice little matchup there. I think you muted yourself, Krissy.
Yeah, no, someone was calling me. I was answering the back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. No problem. Let's get into the other part of the CM Punk news. Like I said, all of this CM Punk contract buyout news came off the heels of earlier this week. Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio reporting that Ace Steel had officially been released from All Elite Wrestling. Steel was one of the people suspended following the brawl out situation with CM Punk and the Elite. At this time, there's still no word on the status of the other four outside of the whole, rumors with Punk and the Elite. Steel was reportedly to have bitten Kenny Omega during the incident. Prior to this, he had been working as a producer for the company. While the backstage reaction was that this was expected, it apparently caught Steel by surprise. A user on Figure 4 online boards noted that Steel had tweeted out freedom, which seemed to suggest he knew it was coming. Dave Meltzer, however, replied, nope, he actually thought the opposite and was surprised. PW Insider has independently confirmed that Steel was fired from the company on Tuesday, and Fightful Select noted that they had word from the Cincinnati taping on Tuesday that he was in fact gone. Fightful had additional details noting that the reaction from those in the company being unanimous that Steele's firing was expected and would have been done the week after All Out if there hadn't been pending legal ramifications. Most in the company believe by the post All Out, Rampage, and Dynamite taping that they were effectively done working with Ace Steel, especially considering the fact that he was fined for cursing on TV just a few days previous to the matter. One longtime talent that was on good terms with Steel said that Steel's fate was more or less sealed because the bite marks on Kenny Omega were still visible, and a veteran told Fightful on Background that releasing Steel was a no-brainer and bringing him back in any situation would have caused frustration in the company. One talent gave a comment that said, biting people? Bad. The report notes that the parties involved in the altercation was more in contact with AEW than they've been for a while, though the details around that aren't certain. Punk was shown on AEW television for the first time, like I said earlier, and the Young Bucks were featured in a Rampage commercial, as well as mentioned as the inaugural AEW World Trios champions, and all of them were the first time any of them had been mentioned on AEW television, and Tuesday was the first time there had been any word of movement on the matter of any optimism regarding potential returns, though what exactly that means was left vague. This seems like the only move that they could have done for now with all the legal ramification is getting rid of Ace Steel. What do you think? What's your reaction to Ace Steel being officially released?
How old are you to be biting people? Like, I'm confused. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are you a child? Like, are you a toddler? I don't understand. Why are we biting people? Like, yes, get them out of here. Like, you shouldn't be biting people. Sorry. Like, I'm like, when I heard you say bite, I'm like, I know you lying. I know you lying. Like, who is biting who's? Like, what is happening?
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a biter. He's a biter.
Right. Like, what? Like, for you to
Negro,
put your dirty
Negro
mouth.
Bucks says bye Ace Steel, the real dog face Gremlin.
You know what?
Ain't right. Y'all ain't right. I mean, it's to be expected, honestly. At the end of the day, like, I don't know what anybody was expecting. He should have
He
should have never got involved in the brawl. If you're a producer, regardless of who your friend is in the brawl, you separate the fight. You don't get involved in the fight. So he deserves
it. Yes. Again, what are we in high school? You jumping in for your friends? You don't think that they're capable of fighting for their own battles? Go somewhere. Sit down.
Ace is old, so he has to resort to biting the competition. So there you go. Good thinking. Great comment. Keep those comments coming. Another bit of AEW news from Dynamite during the episode that they announced that the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, Miss Krissy Love, will take place on Saturday, December 10th from Dallas, Texas at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay.
Final Battle 2022. We got some interesting bit of news following that, which we'll get to later. And then the last bit of news coming out of AEW Dynamite, of course, has to do with Hangman Adam Page, who suffered an injury during the main event. He was checked by doctors and was determined to be unable to continue, which led to AEW stalling a bit with the rundown of the AEW Rampage card and Moxley and MJF's promo at the end. He was stretchered out, and there's been further updates on his status. PW Insider has confirmed that Page appears to have legitimately hurt himself and was checked out backstage by medical staff before being taken to a local hospital to be examined. One source believed that Page may have suffered a concussion. AEW went on to confirm this in a statement late Tuesday night. They also noted that Page was discharged but will still be out of action in accordance with the company's concussion protocol. The statement reads, Hangman Adam Page was taken tonight by medical personnel to a Cincinnati trauma center and diagnosed with a concussion. He was discharged but will remain in AEW's concussion protocol. AEW and Hangman Page are grateful for the exploratory response and care of staff and local medical personnel and are appreciative of the love and support of fans everywhere. Figure4online.com's Dave Meltzer had an update on Hangman Adam Page the following day that he suffered a concussion. Per Meltzer, Hangman is said to be feeling all right following Wednesday's injury. Additionally, he is reportedly very appreciative of how the situation with his injury was handled after his match with Moxley prematurely ended after he suffered the injury, and numerous talent from WWE, AEW, and around the wrestling world wish their best to Hangman Adam Page coming out of that, including, to prove just how scary the injury was, MJF seemed to break character for a moment, praying for Hangman. He tweeted following AEW Dynamite. Once it was revealed that Hangman was relatively okay, MJF regretted his decision, and he wrote, turns out he's fine. Now I feel gross for tweeting this like a total sport.
Oh, God. You got to love it. You have to love it. You
Lovely
have to.
Stuff. And then Hangman Adam Page on Wednesday posted to his Twitter account to give fans an update, tweeting, hey, thanks everyone for being so nice. I'm doing all right, feeling good today. Had a nice panini for lunch. Thanks to Paul, Medical, Mox, Brandon, BJ, etc. Insert introspective yet merciless quote about unfinished business here.
Yep.
So thankfully, he is fine coming out of it.
Right, because it was very scary to watch and see, and just like, like, I hope he's okay. Like, like just praying, like, because looking lifeless in that ring, it was just like, really, I was like, oh, Lord, like, please don't tell me, like, there's something like that bad or whatever. I was like, ugh.
Because, the only person who was happy seeing that was CM Punk. No, not even me. I think CM Punk's not that evil. I hope he's not that evil. I would hope. No, all jokes aside, I hope that Hangman Page comes back very soon and he's able to get healthy. Concussions are very tricky, but CM Punk probably doesn't care. Anyway, we got a live chat, a couple of comments here to feature. Vala B saying biting people is bad. Trent OC and Ricky Starks probably all said that. We got CM who says he saw Phil fight, he knew he wasn't good enough. We also got Frantic World who says Ace was doing good before Punk. AEW was doing good before Punk and Ace Steel showed up. I mean, it got better with CM Punk when CM Punk showed up. I'm just saying. It was really good. We also got Vala B with the super chat donation once again. Thank you so much. We appreciate that, good brother. He said, love the love everyone out there showed Hangman. Insert heartfelt prayer for Hangman. Yes. Great super chat donation. Thank you so much, Vala B. Keep those coming in the live chat. We appreciate all of those. I think you're muted. Or you're talking to someone again? I don't know. Because you're okay. Well, we gotta move on anyway to AEW Rampage.
Sorry.
I love how you unmuted yourself to clear your throat.
Well, I mean, I was trying to say sorry, and that that happens. Listen, I'm trying my best.
You're good. You're fine. AEW Rampage last night, they had a pretty good card with Orange Cassidy defeating Dark Order's 10 and Roosh to retain the AEW All-Atlantic Championship.
I love how he has it in a book bag. Like, that is the most funniest thing in the world. Like, what are we doing? And it's great. Like, and him talking more. Yeah, Sports. I would have it no other way. Why would you not want to have it in a JanSport? Duh.
No, exactly.
That's the best part. Like we all, you know how it was to carry one of those back in the day. You had a good one, and not in a color one too.
And all the strings.
And all the strings, yes.
And I do love how the commentary explained that he doesn't like to carry things with his hands.
With his hands.
That's why he brings it out in the book bag.
Yeah.
I love it. We got CM who says OC being like, I just wanted to wrestle. Yeah, I love Mark Henry. Mark Henry asking him, like, why did you challenge them? Why did you get in their business, challenge them, and put your title out? And he was like, I don't know. And then he tried to steal his catchphrase.
Yes. Yeah. He was like, wait. No, that's just me. No, it's me. There was a great Rampage yesterday. Great Rampage.
He also had Hook beat Ari Daivari to retain the FTW championship. The Acclaimed defeated Varsity Athletes to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships and reclaim the Scissor Me trademark. So they all scissored at the end. Nyla Rose continues to be the funniest person in professional wrestling.
Oh my God, this was so funny when she sang that song.
Jade!
That was a great song in the 90s, guys. That was a great song. You guys don't understand what you guys have missed. We're speaking our age, but that was so good. I mean, and did she remix it? Yes, it was great. It was so good.
Nyla Rose stole Jade Cargill's car this time to go along with the TBS championship after Jade's sat in the ring and demanded her title be returned. And then, of course, like Vala B brought up earlier in the super chat donation, Willow Nightingale beat Layla Gray and was officially announced as being signed by AEW, getting the All Elite graphic treatment after Tony Schiavone announced it in the middle of the ring. I
was so happy for her. This is so good. Good for Willow. She deserves it.
Well deserves. I'm so happy for Willow. So it's very clear. The highlight of the show was Willow getting signed, right?
Yep, absolutely the best part of the show. So yep, for me.
Best part of the show. That and Orange Cassidy.
Cassidy, yeah.
And Nyla.
Yes. Okay, so three things. Yes, three things.
Three things. And Scissor Me.
Yeah. Oh.
She don't know which way she's gonna scissor, ladies and gentlemen. Earlier this week, though, Miss Krissy Love, we had some AEW news that was pretty big, some pretty good big news with them. As first reported by Variety on Tuesday, reigning ROH World Champion Chris Jericho has re-upped with All Elite Wrestling, signing a 3-year contract extension with the promotion that will keep him in All Elite Wrestling through December 2025, when he's 55 years old.
He doesn't want to go anywhere. He loves it. His creativeness he's great over there. He loves his schedule.
Exactly.
They will still give him restrictions.
Yes, it's true. The new contract will see Jericho take on an increased backstage role in AEW, where he will be now serve as a producer and creative advisor for the product and continue to mentor young talent. Speaking to Variety on the news, Jericho said on the deal, "I guess the simple answer is why not?" He continued, "Things have been going so well in the company, and I really do feel that this is my company. It's tattooed on my heart, so to speak. I've been here since day one, and there's really no reason not to be here continuing forward." Jericho added, "When AEW first started, I think basically it was Chris Jericho and a group of very talented people that might not have been as well known. Within 3 months, that changed, and now within 3 years, we've got at least a dozen, maybe 2 dozen of our own homegrown stars that came into their own on AEW television." On Tuesday's Wrestling Observer Radio, it was noted that while the announcement framed it as a contract extension, it was actually an entirely new deal. According to Dave Meltzer, Jericho's initial deal with the company was set to expire January 2024. He will be on this deal until the first week of January, and the new deal would expire January 2026. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that there were some in WWE who were expecting Jericho to return to the company once his AEW deal expired to get one last run and a Hall of Fame induction. Jericho still has a good relationship with Vince McMahon, but Vince McMahon is no longer in charge at the company. It's unknown how much he is earning, but he was making $3 million a year with his old deal and likely got a raise with this new one. So do you think it was a no-brainer for AEW to re-sign Chris Jericho, despite the fact, like I said before, at the time of his contract expiring this time, he will be 55 years old?
Yeah, no brainer that they need to keep their big pillars there. They have to. It's the way the company is based off of the backs of these people.
Yeah,
they walk so the other ones can run.
Jericho was the top star. He was the guy that
Mhm.
they first gave the ball to and pushed the ball up the hill until Moxley was ready to take it over from there, and until Moxley pushing it up the hill with Jericho, with Omega, with the Young Bucks for a while until CM Punk came and they tried to give him the whole ball. But obviously that ball takes more than one person to push up that hill, and CM Punk clearly doesn't work well with others. But Chris Jericho does. I think that Chris Jericho has really been showing his value ever since Brawl Out. Like how he handled the whole situation at the media scrum. He knew everything that was going down, but you wouldn't have known by how he handled himself in that situation. And then coming out of that, he's been kind of the glue of the locker room, bringing everybody together. So I think that is well deserved that he gets the contract extension. Very well deserved, not only based on what he does backstage. He's having one of the best in-ring years of his career. He's had some of the best matches in recent memory of his career. The match with Eddie Kingston at Revolution, Big by the Lake for the AEW World Title against Jon Moxley was great. He's had 3 good to great matches with Bryan Danielson. All those amazing multi-man matches with Blackpool Combat Club, Anarchy in the Arena, Blood and Guts 2. So the list goes on and on. He's having the best in-ring year of his career. He's doing so well backstage to bring the whole locker room together. I gotta say, it is well deserved for Chris Jericho, regardless of if you hate Chris Jericho for what he does in the ring, for what he does out of the ring, and his views. You can't say that he's not worth it for AEW at this time.
Absolutely, yeah. They if they let him go, they kiss AEW goodbye.
He would be another big domino for WWE to bring back into the fold. So I'm not surprised that WWE thought that they would have a chance to get him back. We got Frantic World that says AEW Rampage was fun to watch last night. We got
Daly's Place is always good.
ALW says, boo, I am so fucking tired of Jericho.
What? Wow. Okay. Tell him why you mad, friend. It's okay.
And he's not the only one, CM, saying over Jericho KKK ho.
Wow. I mean, guys, we just have to give credit where credit is due. Come on.
Sometimes you gotta separate the person from the performer.
Yeah.
We have Frantic World that says Chris Jericho is making big money in AEW. Yeah, more than $3 million a year. I mean, hey, I think he's worth it. I think he's worth it. We got ALW says he's not worth it. It's way too. He says 3 million is way too much for Chris. Hey, he's bringing in the
How you think
ratings.
those hair extensions just got them hair extensions got to stay? Because I could have swore he had a bald spot back there, and he still got. I thought he was gonna get a haircut. No, he still got the extensions back there. So that $3 million got to pay for something.
They gotta pay for his diet. That's how he lost that stomach. I gotta learn from him.
I mean, he had a dad bod. He had the dad belly for a minute. Yup, he did. He really did.
We got Bala B with one last super chat donation. Apparently, he says, "Okay, I'm tapped out on super chats for today. We appreciate it, man. You always bring it and deliver. You need to inspire more people in the chat to be like, help me out. I shouldn't be the only one." Nyla and Jade storyline is what a mid-card feud should be with that old WCW twang to it. I've been loving it. Me and Jimmy's been complimenting it every week on Dynamite. So I
was a fan of it. Like this week, it really made it like, okay, this is something like, okay, now you're stealing my car. Like you're really antagonizing me. You're really like, first of all, how are you stealing my stuff? The baddies are like, you're not doing your jobs, ladies. Like, come on.
Need to get on it. Should be protecting Jade's possessions
at a little bit better.
Little bit better. Just a little bit better. Kira, Layla, get it together. Let's get into a little bit of WWE from this week. We'll start off with last night. You had besides Rampage, of course, you had WWE Smackdown. And in fact, I said I liked Rampage. I would say Smackdown was a little bit better. I like the
the SmackDown wasn't bad yesterday. Actually, it was actually a decent episode, to be honest.
So you had Bray Wyatt cut another compelling promo saying that he is fully aware of the other version of him intentions and the bad things he's going to do and will never regret them. While his Uncle Howdy persona played further mind games. He had a video package where he says, don't lie to the ones you love. He also showed another QR code that revealed, I guess, like a psychological evaluation of Bray Wyatt. Like, yeah. It was like,
is that what the barcode was for? Okay.
The barcode led you to this page that showed like a form, like a psychological evaluation form for Bray Wyatt. So he's like trying to expose Bray Wyatt, the other persona of himself. It's very interesting stuff.
That's good.
We didn't get a lot of answers for sure.
And we had the rabbit fly thing too at the beginning of the show. They showed that part. Yes.
Yes, at that cut into Shaemus.
Yes. Intro. Yes.
Sheamus' entrance, of course, led to Solo Sikoa defeating Sheamus in a good opener.
Good match, yes.
After a distraction from Sami Zayn. Post-match, the Bloodline, led by Jey Uso, Pillmanized Sheamus' shoulder. However, later in the show, Jey Uso got too excited, disobeyed Roman Reigns' orders, and attacked Logan Paul. But he was laid out with a punch by Paul following a distraction from Sami Zayn. You also had Drew McIntyre.
In his defense, Sami did tell him to go home. Like, I mean, he's like, yo.
You should have listened to Sami.
You should have listened to Sami. Sami said, yo, do me a favor and just please leave. No, you didn't want to do. You didn't listen. Sami been trying to help you out. You keep not listening.
Keep not listening. And keep falling right on your ass. Drew McIntyre challenged Karrion Kross to a steel cage match at Crown Jewel. You also had Liv Morgan had her further character development as she went further crazy.
I'm about to say, did you see her outfit of choice? Hello. If that's not Harley Quinn, Joker-esque outfit, which is amazing, by the way. This is great acting, first of all. I don't know where this was at when she was the champion, but this shit right here is great.
Liv Morgan caused a double count out with herself and Sonya Deville, then stacked chairs in the ring and did a superplex before smiling and laughing about it. Afterwards, Rey Mysterio defeated Ludwig Kaiser in a fun bout to get ready for his match against Gunther, which will be on the November 4th edition of SmackDown. And finally, Dakota Kai and Io Sky Damage Control defeated Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi to successfully defend the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. So a lot of good stuff. I really much enjoyed, mostly because the Bloodline was on it a lot. And that's Bloodline and Bray Wyatt. I'm here for it every Friday.
You mean Sami Zayn?
Yes.
With the, it's
No,
Sami-
it's really not just even Sami Zayn.
no,
It's
no,
the
it's not.
dynamic.
It's the
It's
dynamic.
how everybody responds. Like literally, the star of the backstage segment last night was Jimmy Uso. When Sammy went to him, like,
Yes, it was.
oh,
Yes.
he's not listening to the tribal chief. He was like, my dog. No, I marked out. I was like, it was like the perfect response. Like, my dog.
Yeah.
I love it. Just everybody is just in tune with their characters when it comes to everything in the bloodline.
Yes,
whether
no,
it be
it's so good. He's like, I'm a hothead or whatever, and it's such good elements from everyone. Everyone says the right stuff at the right time. Like I feel like they're not even practicing to be honest. I feel like it's just like they're just going off and it's just like ad-libbing. It's just like it's just all like so good, and they just like let us say. Did you see Sammy dancing when Solo Sikoa came out? Like it's so good. Like
he does that every time though. He does that to Roman, to the Usos.
It is so offbeat, but it's so good.
I hear Solo's music. I just want to dance like Sammy. Get it in on. Get it in on.
And he's just like
like he got one dance move.
He got one dance move. It's so good though. He's gonna keep doing it. It's so good. It's so good.
We got Vala B who says first hour of SmackDown was good, second hour was doo-doo.
Really? No way. Not
I mean,
doo-doo.
I wouldn't go that far. That's a little much. We got a super chat donation from CM. Thank you so much, CM.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate that whenever you're able to. Saying Rampage was really fun this week. Riho greater than NXT. Yes, every single time AEW seems to be NXT, it seems to be Riho on the show. That's the big difference, mate.
Wow, really? Damn.
Nah, not every week. You know, she's a woman, so she can't be on every week on AEW.
You know what? You're right.
No, but I will give them credit. This coming week with Riho versus Jamie Hayter, it's going to be the first week since August 31st that Toni Storm has not wrestled on AEW Dynamite.
Wow. How many weeks? What?
Like 8 weeks. She's gone 8 weeks straight of having a match on Dynamite.
Oh, okay. She's been wrestling 8 weeks straight. Okay.
She's had a match.
Oh.
She's had a match on 8 straight weeks of Dynamite.
Ooh, that just tells you something about the whole run. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you saying it, friend. Dang.
Saying a lot here without saying too much. Sophie says Liv Morgan was going crazy again and loving taking the pain. Yeah, I thought it was interesting, and it got a good reaction from the fans.
From the crowd,
I thought another thing was interesting that we've been talking about the loud reactions and cheers for Ronda Rousey as of late, and she clearly cut a heel promo last night. Like,
she's like, let me get the hell out of what was it, Ohio yesterday? Let me get the hell out of Ohio. I was like, finally something you're saying that is good, because I actually enjoyed it. I was like, wait.
That's exactly what I thought too, Ronda, when I was in Cleveland a couple of weeks ago. I was like, let me
get the hell out of here and go home, right?
King David says Liv should be with Wyatt.
I mean, okay. The whole thing, if she's gonna be with Wyatt, how will we play off of each other? Like, what you got to give me more, King David. Like, how is it going? How would the two benefit from each other? Like, what's happening? Like, are they going to be a faction? Like, what is their faction going to do? It has to be something that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, this whole Liv thing is probably she's snapped now because she doesn't have the championship. So now she has to now figure out and just be like this like crazy lunatic in order to like cause havoc so she can probably like get the belt back or whatever. Or this is her like losing her mind now because she doesn't have the belt to make her like
I love consequences and little changes off of someone losing a title and makes the title feel more important.
Yeah, right.
We got with an incorrect statement for Vala B, but I'm only highlighting because you show your support so much. Nobody gives a fuck about Ronda. Incorrect. I give a fuck about Ronda.
I'm about to say,
and the fans do. The fans respond to her in the building. The people in the building, they pay a ticket they deserve. They are not nobody, sir. They have enough money to get in. We got King David saying Liv would be Wyatt's Harley Quinn with his Wyatt spin on it, with Wyatt as he is as his form of the Joker.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, he went through the time of coming up with a scenario, so I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, listen.
King David, you deserve credit because some people would have just left it alone. Like, damn, you asked me to explain my work. I just had the answer.
Yeah, so
explain the work.
So again, hence the outfit of choices that she, even when she lost, she had on kind of like the black and red, like almost like Harley Quinn-ish like outfit already. So she's also playing the role as the sidekick or the one that's causing havoc for her man, which is cool. And she's doing the laughing and everything, which is I can see it happening. It's just, will they execute it the right way?
Our producer had a great comment saying that Sami Zayn reminds him of Butters from South Park. That's an excellent line, I will say.
Yeah, I wish we had a picture for it too, so I could really see this.
I really want to see it now.
Do your magic, guys.
Just like magic. Like Romeo in the chat or Johnny, pull up the picture. Coming out of SmackDown, though, with Krissy Love, we had some news with WWE announcing on Twitter that Shaemus suffered a non-displaced fracture near his elbow and is still under observation after the Bloodline attacked him.
Oh, I want to say, I thought this did this really happen? That's why the Bloodline did their thing. Oh, okay, got it.
No, more or less, no. No, but yeah, to Solo Sikoa on the show due to he lost his match to Solo Sikoa on the show due to a distraction from Sami Zayn, and is not yet clear how long Sheamus will be on the show with what appears to be a storyline injury. WWE Day 1 won't be taking place in 2023. It seems, Miss Krissy Love. It's like they watched Tru Heel Heat and heard your response to Day 1 last week. WrestleNomics is Brandon Thurston reports that
finally, yes, thank you. That is the best news I've heard all day. Fuck Day 1. We don't need it. It is dumb. You guys listen to me. It is great. It's so good. Okay.
According to multiple sources, the January 1st pay-per-view has been canceled and won't be rescheduled. If the report is accurate, that means that there would be no premium live event set to take place.
Won't he do it? Look at him.
Survivor Series in November and the Royal Rumble in late January. There is no confirmation on the reason why the event has been canceled, but Thurston notes that Day 1 would have gone head-to-head on Peacock with the final Sunday Night Football game of the regular season, December 31st. Saturday is New Year's Eve and would conflict with other football games. It was reported earlier this month in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that WWE was considering a change for the date, and it should also be noted that as of that PW Insider provided an update noting that State Farm Arena no longer has WWE Day 1 listed on their calendar, with a WWE live event now scheduled for December 27th. It had been reported that the cancellation may have something to do with the final Sunday Night Football game, but there is currently no premium live event set to take place between November's Survivor Series and January's Royal Rumble. Tickets for the live event on December 27th go on sale on October 28th. It is branded as a SmackDown event, but Bobby Lashley, Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, and Bianca Belair of Raw are all advertised for the show. So good news for Miss Krissy Love.
So excited. That's Butters.
I'm mad he took the one where Butters was studying how to be a pimp. If you haven't watched the episode where Butters trains to be a pimp and becomes a pimp at his school, watch it, please.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
We got in the live chat here, Vala B says, so Krissy wasn't down since Day 1.
Not with that one. Sorry, friend. Let's focus on Royal Rumble, people. Let's get the main big show. The focus on that. We can't focus on Day 1. We can't even do Survivor Series because we got to do freaking
Crown
Saudi
Jewel.
Arabia.
Yeah,
we drew that thing. Yeah. So you can't even,
That thing.
we can't even like focus on one of the big fours because we have to go dance around and salute for the king over there, Prince or whatever the hell that man name is. And
Yeah.
Sammy can't even go to that show.
Nope. True.
So he can't. So he's doing all this build up, and he can't even be at day one.
My dog.
My dog. Yeah. I like when they do the whole like the clap, the handshake. Yo, that shit is mad good. Oh my god.
They do it so smooth. Always so smooth.
It's so smooth. It's like I be always trying to count how many claps they do in between. I'm like, I lose track.
Savisa, so that means we get a 2-month buildup for the Royal Rumble. That's crazy. Yeah. The first time in a while, Royal Rumble's gonna feel like it has a great
something. Yes. Yep. That's a good thing. Hopefully they'll give a lot more like meaningful episodes of like Raw and SmackDown too now, because they're focused now on building up these storylines for this big pay-per-view. So whoever's going to Rumble, God bless you guys, because you should be getting a good show then.
Yes. Hopefully we get a focus build up for that.
Right.
We got WWE Raw this week. They did 1.803 million viewers. The show featured Seth Rollins defeating Matt Riddle to retain the United States Championship, thanks to Elias getting involved after Rollins struck him. This followed Rollins kind of being the focus of the show after he was interrupted by Mustafa Ali earlier in the night. And
great.
Yeah, he laid out Ali during this encounter with each other. Ali came out after the main event to get a measure of revenge, setting up a feud between the two. Dominic Mysterio defeated AJ Styles in an upset. You also had the OC beat Alpha Academy in a fun tag team matchup, and the show got off to a quick and exciting start with Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar getting into a huge brawl, with Lashley putting Lesnar through the commentary table at ringside. What did you think of Raw, and what was your highlight for the show?
Raw wasn't bad, actually. Raw was pretty good. It was a good, meaningful Raw episode, I want to say. So the thing with Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, I'm like, okay, so we're gonna do this. Okay, great, no problem. I get it. I guess they need Brock to go to Saudi Arabia. Like, I guess that's one of like the stipulations and rules. Like, he has to come. So that's one of his many appearances.
Brock only appears at the biggest paydays of the year. That's why he always appears at WrestleMania, Saudi Arabia, and SummerSlam, and the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, those are his those are his big four.
Big five, because he goes to both shows.
That's true. So he goes to the big five shows that they have. So he goes to all of the main shows, except Survivor Series. That's fine. That's okay. That's cool. So we're making this whole thing with Bobby Lashley and him, because I was like, they made Bobby Lashley look weak last week, and this week he looks like, and I'm like, and it looked like they got some really hard, like, I feel like they were like really hitting each other, like for real. And I was like, okay, are these receipts that you guys gonna have to pay for with each other? I guess that was one of the receipts Brock Lesnar had to pay for, because the way that they ran into that damn wall, wow. Wow. So that was a good one. What else on Raw, which was good? Seth Rollins and Mustafa Ali. Wow, didn't know I needed it until it was happening. So they're giving Mustafa a little bit of a build, but he won't win, probably so. But nevertheless, he's on TV and he's being seen, and he has a new look, which is really cool too. So this is actually really good for him. I'm loving the black and yellow. I'm just loving him being on TV, because the more he can work, the better he can get at promos and stuff.
I just love that the United States Championship feels like the most important title on the brand, because you got multiple people coming after it. Seth kind of feels like he's given us the first storyline for this United States Championship. A few months of Triple H's regime, it was about kind of building up the title with good matches, but Bobby Lashley didn't have a lot of stories to go.
Right, he just had matches. Right.
Seth had a really good main event with Riddle, and he set up more to go with Riddle, as well as Elias and with Mustafa Ali.
Because I'm like, damn, he have another fight with Riddle. I'm like, damn, he not tired of fighting Riddle. I was like, I'm tired of seeing him fight. But it makes sense, because you have to build in the other things around it to make this thing make sense. Which we see that Elias is back. He's not his brother anymore. He was gone so long that he got a beard back. I'm like, wow, does your facial hair grow really fast? I mean, and it's a full, like, it's a decent size. Like,
It is.
you were bald. I mean, he had to keep shaving it because his hair grows back quite frequently. But I was happy to see him. And then, it was good to see Riddle with the drums trying to play with him, which was mad funny. Yeah. So yeah, you got all these little like fights or whatever that's happening, which is really good. It's gonna and of course you give it to Seth Rollins to make it makes more sense now.
Yep. Elevated just a little bit. So that's what Seth is always there for. But the bigger news coming out of Raw is a big one that kind of puts a wrench into everybody's thoughts of a potential working relationship between WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Because why couldn't that ever work out? Well, WWE announced on Raw that the Judgment Day will face AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Doc Gallows of the OC in a 6-man tag team matchup at WWE Crown Jewel on November 5th. Why is that an issue? Carl Anderson was booked to defend the never openweight championship in New Japan Pro Wrestling against Hikuleo for New Japan Pro Wrestling's Battle Autumn event on the very same day.
Wow.
PW Insider notes that it is a 16+ hour flight to get from Riyadh to Tokyo, and thus it would not be possible.
It wouldn't even possible
to work both shows on the same day. In a post on Instagram, the Good Brothers confirmed that they will be in Saudi Arabia for November 5th for WWE Crown Jewel. This means that they will not be in Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling's Battle Autumn event. The video was in character, and in it, they say that the New Japan made the match without sending an email to Luke Gallows, who handles their bookings. In the comments, Rocky Romero of New Japan Pro Wrestling demanded they return the belt. NJPW has posted an article saying that the match is still on for Battle Autumn, with Anderson defending the title against Hikuleo. The article quotes Hikuleo as saying, "You think you forgot about me? I've got a lot on my plate right now, but I can make time for you. What are you scared of, Carl Anderson? The second non-Japanese person to make the finals of the G1? Scared of someone who just coming back from a learning excursion? The former multi-time IWGP Tag Team Champion? Scared of someone who's only had 2 title matches? Listen, you want to call yourself Bright Lights? Don't forget who turned on those lights for you. New Japan did. And now you want to say those lights are brighter? You want to say your lights are brighter? Well, don't turn your back on us. Don't forget where you came from. Carl, you want to hide from me? I'll find you, and when I do, I'll knock your lights out." NJPW President Takayama Obare says he's none too pleased about Carl Anderson missing his never openweight title defense at Battle Autumn. Akabari spoke with Tokyo Sports and said that he's not happy about Anderson pulling from the event and that he's hangry over the whole entire matter. What do you think about this situation? Could this have been avoided by WWE simply not booking the OC versus the Judgment Day here? Or do you think the Good Brothers are in their right to choose Crown Jewel over Battle Autumn?
I think they should at least I'm sure he already knew he had that date already, because you're the champion already. You already had that match already booked, right? So you kind of shouldn't have accepted the Crown Jewel gig because you already have a gig, and you knew once you came to this company, like, you're probably gonna have to, like, one, give up that belt, because the two just he hasn't even won the belt on their TV show either, right? Yeah. So it's like,
I believe they've mentioned it in passing that he's still a champion in New Japan, but not like advert references.
Right. Yeah. He's gonna have to drop that title. He's gonna have to cut ties. He can't do both. There's no way. It's too good to be true that WWE will allow him to be working for this other company. I'm sorry. They're gonna buy it out and, like, pay him more money, pay the money over there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's
that's all the ways it's gonna work.
It's kind of a messy situation. I legitimately was on YouTube on Monday on ITR clips with Alex McCarthy saying, like, "Oh yeah, the OC is not going to verse the Judgment Day at Crown Jewel because Anderson's got the New Japan show. He can't be in
Two
places
places
at
at
once.
one time.
And
Nope.
literally that night they named this match, and I was just like, well, fuck
There goes
me then.
that. Yeah.
Well, fuck me and what I think. Ugh. Yeah, that's a good point too. Valabi saying NJPW strip Mox once because of a tornado. The man legitimately couldn't be there because of a tornado.
Okay,
How
see,
are we
that's
gonna let
different.
Carl Anderson be on this show?
Right. Yeah, that's different. That's some totally. Look, it was weather that couldn't let him be there. That is dumb on New Japan's part. Sorry. However, Carl Anderson understands and know that he had a gig already. You shouldn't. You. I don't know. I mean, yes, I'm sure Crown Jewel is paying more, but you already committed yourself and you already have the belt. Like,
Yeah. And yes, Valabi, I'm well aware Tokyo Sports is a kayfabe source, and Obari, I think that they are well aware of the situation, and they probably talked it over before the Good Brothers did that video on Instagram. Maybe they're gonna allow Anderson to keep the titles. Maybe Anderson shows up at the Halloween shows for New Japan that we're gonna run down the lineup in a bit. Next week in New York, I'll be at the Thursday night show with our producer Baby Seth in the front row. So maybe the Good Brothers are going to be there. Who knows?
that would be great. Like.
And Romeo says Crown Jewel, the bigger payday. I don't blame him.
Again, it's probably a bigger paycheck. I get it.
Right is right. That's
right,
what Krissy's
yeah.
trying to say.
That's what I'm saying.
That is
Yeah.
right.
That's it. That's it. Like,
we should note that this week was missing one of the bigger names backstage. PW Insider reported that Triple H had tested positive for COVID-19 and would miss Monday's episode of Monday Night Raw. Sources say that he is feeling well and in good spirits, but will not be at WWE events until he is medically cleared. He has been in contact with the producers and writers and feels good about the creative for Monday's show. This was the first Raw without Triple H since he became head of creative, and the hope is he will be back as soon as he tests negative for COVID-19. PW Insider then further reported before yesterday's SmackDown that Triple H would miss the show and he is still under COVID-19 protocol for WWE. The game reportedly feels fine, but is going to take precautions and going through the required process before he can return to work. It's believed that he will be back next week, but that will depend on test results. Triple H has been talking with the creative team and producers before last night's show to make sure everything lines up with what he wants. And Fightful Select reports that Triple H is said to be doing fine despite being away from the show due to being diagnosed with COVID-19. So send our best and speedy recovery to Triple H for sure.
Definitely. Hopefully he doesn't have the bad case of the COVID. So
definitely, especially with his health from last year. That
right, exactly.
But the 30-year anniversary of WWE Raw is actually coming up in January, Miss Krissy. The year it's been 30 years since the first episode of Raw in 1993.
Wow.
And apparently WWE is planning a big show to celebrate the occasion. According to our new report from WrestleVotes, there are plans in motion for the event in January. When Vince McMahon was still in charge, holding the show in the Manhattan Center was quote unquote on the table, but it's unknown if that's still true. WWE held Raw at the Manhattan Center for the 25th anniversary in 2018, as well as the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. They were told that plans are in motion for the 30th anniversary of Raw show coming up in January. Prior to the news leadership taking over, it seemed that the Manhattan Center was the plan, but it depends on where Triple H and Stephanie and the rest want to see where they go in January. But all I will say, if you're going to run in the Manhattan Center, run the whole damn show.
Yeah, don't do the two things like they did the last one, because I feel like when you do that, you have it just it loses its purpose of like it being a show. Like we sitting here watching stuff on the screen, like that's not what I paid my ticket for. You know what I'm saying? Like do the whole thing. I mean, yes, you want to make money that day, I get it, but make it into the space where it originated from. Keep it in that one space. Like it was there for a reason, and the people are gonna pop for it. And it's gonna be good.
Yeah, like you you can sell your overpriced tickets for the Manhattan
So you
Center.
can sell your overpriced tickets because that's
Not gonna
exactly
be
what's happening.
that many people since it's a smaller place, but you could overprice the tickets because you know you're gonna do that if you're running the Manhattan Center. That's just a
And the people is going to want to be there, so they're going to pay. They're going to pay for it regardless, and you're going to have a lot of press people that's going to be there too. So you might as well just do it there.
just go for it.
Just go for it. Or try to get maybe the Garden, but I think you should just do. I think don't do the Barclays. Just either do Madison Square Garden, where it all like where you guys first started having this, or just go to the Manhattan Center. Or if you want to do two shows, do the Garden and the Manhattan Center. That makes more sense.
Yeah,
because at least they're close. People can walk across the street. You can might have a battle outside. Like you can like make it make sense. If I'm sure you could block off like 2 or 3 blocks of that area for like 25 minutes.
For sure. WWE NXT this week, they did 676,000 viewers, which is up from the week prior against AEW. So their ratings was up even despite going against AEW on Tuesday. The show featured several main roster stars, including Kevin Owens hosting the KO show with all 3 men in the Halloween Havoc main event. That ended with Ilya Dragunov standing tall and raising the NXT championship. And then the main rosters, Raw's Austin Theory came out with the Money in the Bank briefcase to tease himself backing in. We then also got Raw's Rhea Ripley defeating Roxanne Perez in a good opener, while Cora Jade beat SmackDown's Raquel Rodriguez by DQ in the Pick Your Poison matches. Cameron Grimes and the OC beat Joe Gacy and the Dyad in a solid 6-man tag team matchup. You also had Alba Fire defeat Sonya Deville and Shinsuke Nakamura to beat Stacks in his return to the NXT brand in his best Kill Bill outfit that he could possibly find.
Fine. Yeah. That definitely is the Kill Bill outfit.
What did you think about NXT? What was the highlight for the show?
NXT was cool. Again, I didn't pay much attention to it because I was watching more AEW side of things. However, I did like the 6-man tag match with Cameron Grimes and the Good Brothers. Was it the OC? Yes. And then I had
sorry.
And then the KO show moment was I feel like I kind of like missed most of it because I was really watching the MJF promo and the stuff that was happening with Hangman Adam Page. So it was kind of like I felt like I missed that part of the whole thing. So, but I mean, it seems like it was a good show.
I watched NXT before I watched the Laker game. That's what I did.
Wow.
After AEW, I watched NXT. That's what I did. That was the best thing for me to do because I watched the beginning of it at the same time as AEW, and then yeah, like you said, after Regal and MJF, I stopped paying attention, so I had to rewatch it.
True, very true.
It is what it is.
Not your fault.
No, it's not my fault. It ain't my fault.
Did
I do that? And I will say, Vala B 100% correct. That was the best line on the show. JD Mick, don't Google me. Mick, don't Google me. Best line of the night. Fightful Select has an update on the next premium live event for WWE NXT. According to the report, WWE has listed December 10th for the next Peacock special for NXT. According to the report, the event is rumored to be associated with the recently filed NXT Deadline trademark that was filed earlier this month. However, it has not been confirmed or that that will be the official name of the event. Additionally, several NXT talents and staff members have reportedly been made aware of the date to keep it open. As noted, the next Ring of Honor show is ROH Final Battle, has also been scheduled for Saturday, December 10th. It's not confirmed if both shows will be running head-to-head on that date. Final Battle will air at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is being held in Dallas, Texas, while the NXT event will be held in the evening at its usual time of 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Peacock from Orlando's WWE Performance Center. And Fightful notes that is the plan, and it was announced by Shawn Michaels during the media call on Friday and expected to be made confirmed on Saturday, October 22nd during the NXT Halloween Havoc event. What do you think about NXT Deadline going head to head with ROH Final Battle? Because I'll just put this scenario out there. This is a scenario that I think I presented to a few other people. I think this week's AEW Dynamite was a test run. A test run for TNT, TBS to see if it is valuable for wrestling fans to watch their channel on a Tuesday head to head with NXT. So I think Tony Khan this week has said that the ROH weekly show will be announced in 2023. I think that it will be on Tuesday nights on TNT or TBS head to head with NXT. And I think this is just a salvo back from NXT booking their event on the same day as Final Battle.
I would love to see it. Especially that we can have a show for ROH because it's needed because of the characters that they have over there, and they have so much belts over there that they can kind of have like people go back and forth on ROH television too, so that we can have like meaningful thing and have it like, because what ROH was on, what it was on like an app or something.
ROH, it used to be on Sinclair Broadcasting, which is only available in certain markets.
See, okay, yeah, I ain't got that channel, so yeah,
I don't got it either. Trust.
I ain't got that channel, so we need that. They need this to be there. So that was a good test run to see what would happen. And I mean, like with so much sports and stuff going on like Tuesday, it's a like NXT does decent numbers. So if you can get around like the 600 mark, that should be fine. I mean, I think you guys can do it. They have the names and people will watch it.
Yeah. And I see my producer in the background is saying, just turn Rampage into the ROH show. No, it's about getting more hours for this roster. It's not about just consolidate that. No. Hour for other people on the AEW roster.
Yes,
but if you are trying to put all your people, 120 plus guys and gals you have on your roster through 3 hours, that's impossible.
Yeah,
you need the extra hour on television, and that's what ROH will allow. And maybe if it's doing well against NXT on a Tuesday night, they give it 2 hours, and that's 5 hours of television for 120 a man and woman roster, which is more reasonable.
Yep. Absolutely, I totally agree. Absolutely, let them have their own brand, because you cannot keep putting them on 1 hour or like 15 minutes on Dynamite or Rampage. Like we could get 1 or 2, but after a while they're going to need to fill it out. Like Samoa Joe's your damn champion. He can't keep being with Warlow.
Yeah. This dude has only had like 4 or 5 singles matches since he came to AEW. Like,
right.
Gotta have him, give him the chance to develop a feud with someone not associated with Wardlow. Frantic World saying FTR versus Dem Boys 3 on ROH TV. I'd be here for it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get the announcement at Final Battle.
See? And then, like you said, them having NXT go against them. It's which one you want to watch. So that's also them being like, you guys gonna watch us? You're gonna watch them. Like, we're gonna watch somebody.
And look at their champions right now. Like you mentioned, Samoa Joe, the TV champion, Chris Jericho, the ROH World Champion, FTR, the tag team champions. Like they have big stars that are their champions. So
and they can make meaningful like pay-per-views if
they announce Final Battle, like the TV is gonna start in like January, they're immediately gonna have interest because of their champions already.
Look at Impact. Impact has maybe about 200 to 300 people in those arenas, and they still be giving like 5 million pay-per-views.
It's true.
They can do it.
They finally changed the camera view, because the camera view was not helping y'all. That was the camera view that worked during the pandemic. You needed to change the camera view so people could actually see there are people in your goddamn building. Thankfully, they changed that at Bound for Glory and been keeping that camera view since. Thankfully. God damn. Bala B says run ROH tapings at Daly's place. I wouldn't be surprised, and I would like that.
That is actually like, but yeah, again, that's something where you could keep it there. It's in Florida. The people that work for ROH, they mostly live in Florida anyway, or people will like make set up shop there because this is where you can. It's a and you own the place. It's going. You know that's a steady, decent amount for people to come into that location. You'll get a decent ticket price. Do it like NXT. NXT is in one set place. You don't have to do it anywhere else but here. It is it can be done.
And Daily Space visually, that's what we associate with AEW. And if you want to make it
We love Daly's Place. Daly's Place is a great
ROH place, that's fine too.
It helped us during the pandemic. Like that was like something like really like you need those little gems to help you like catapult this, ignite the light on this company.
To be fair, Samoa Joe has been filming stuff in Hollywood. Will Chisholm, that is correct. That is correct.
Yeah, I mean, okay, listen. All I'm saying is like he's their champion. Like he needs to be seen, but also he's getting the bag too. So I mean, do your thing.
right now in October, what would you be watching on December 10th? If it did go head to head, right now it's looking like it won't go head to head. But if it did, would you watch NXT Deadline or ROH Final Battle?
ROH probably.
I'm in the same boat. I'm with you.
I would try to watch both, but I have like my iPad or my laptop on one, and then I have the other one on the TV. So I'd probably go back and forth. That's what I would.
The one you really want to watch is going to be on the TV, and
exactly. So I'm going to put ROH on the television, and I'm going to put Peacock on my laptop. Easy. I got it down.
Final bit of WWE news from NXT. PW Insider reports that Shinsuke Nakamura will be making some additional NXT appearances following his appearance on this week's show. So you're going to be seeing the former two-time NXT champion on the now white and gold brand maybe a little bit more often.
So is that what it is? Is white and gold?
Yeah, it's white and gold. That's the logo. The logo now. Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Thank you.
I mean,
thank you, producer.
Black, but okay, sure.
Black is just what the thing is on. The logo is white and gold.
Oh, okay. That is the highlight. I thought that the black. Okay, never mind. It's all right.
Final two shows of what we missed with Krissy Love. You had AAA, Triplemania 30. You had Pentagon Jr. defeat Valino 4 in a compelling mass versus mass main event.
Oh my
Very
God.
bloody.
Yes. I was about to say, what is happening?
A bloody war. Post-match, we got an emotional scene with fans crying in the crowd as Valano unmasked at 57 years old.
57?
Yes. Riveting.
Oh my God. That's him right there?
Yeah, that's him.
Wow. He needs to go sit down somewhere though.
He's like, Poppy, go work in the store. Go work in the store. I need quarter waters. Pagano beat Serpentico in a hair versus hair matchup. You also had Dragon Lee and Dralistico won a 3-way to become #1 contenders for FTR's AAA World Tag Team titles. Tayo Valkyrie beat Camille to retain the AAA Reina del Rey's championship. And in one of the best high-flying spectacles of the year, you had Hijo del Vikingo defeat Rey Fenix in a sensational bout to retain the AAA Mega Championship. Definitely a must-watch matchup. And then coming out of that, we had some news bit that Vikingo has officially got his U.S. work visa, so he will be able to perform in the United States now.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
I'm happy. I want to see Vikingo live. We'll see where he comes next. And then finally, Impact on AXS TV. You had Frankie Kazarian officially relinquish the Impact X Division Championship before being jumped by Steve Macklin until Josh Alexander made the save. Alexander versus...
No relation to Macklin, right?
Huh?
No relation to Bob Backlund?
His name is Macklin.
Oh, it's Macklin with an M. Sorry, not Backlund. Sorry. I thought you said Bob Backlund. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna be quiet.
Bully Ray was suspected of attacking Ace Austin, who was found knocked out in the parking lot before Bully and Tommy Dreamer beat Bullet Club's Juice Robinson and Chris Bay. Heath and
nerve.
Rhyno defeated the Kingdom's Matt Taven and Mike Bennett to win the Impact World Tag Team Championships. Post-match, Eddie Edwards called out and questioned each member of Honor No More until PCO turned on everyone and laid out the entire group. So it seems like we saw the end of Honor No More with multiple of those members having their contract expire this week. So
Oh,
seems like
wow.
it's the end. We got a couple of comments to feature here. Frantic World says Triplemania is always a crazy fun pay-per-view. We also got Romeo who says put the All Atlantic title on Helio. Talking about putting it on Vikingo. I wouldn't mind that. Shinsuke and Braun. That might be an interesting route to go. Two former two-time NXT champions. I would like that. But that is all for what we missed. So it's your favorite time of the week, Miss Krissy Love and everyone in the chat. It is time for the match of the week. This is where each week the co-hosts of Tru Heel Heat choose their match of the week medalists. Gold, silver, bronze. So we choose 3 matches and we give each one a medal. Krissy Love, since this is your favorite part of the show, and I usually always go first, I'll let you go first this week.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for you to go first. I was waiting for your answers. I was ready. Anywho, okay. So my bronze, are we doing 3 or are we just doing 1?
Yeah, you're doing 3. Gold,
Okay.
gold, silver, bronze medal.
Okay, bronze, I'm gonna give to Shida and
Storm.
Yes, Tony Storm. They'll get that. Number for silver, I'm going to give it to Dominic and AJ Styles. I thought that was pretty good.
Okay.
Even though it was also like AJ whipping Dominic's ass, but I think that's what Dominic really needed. And then I'm going to give number 1 to Hangman and the match that was, it was being good so far, which was Hangman, Adam Page, and Jon Moxley for my gold.
So Hangman and Moxley, despite the injury, get the gold medals. Definitely very good matchup. Well on its way to being great before the injury. This week, I'll go bronze. I'm going to give it to Pentagon versus Villano, number 4 from Triplemania, Triplemania 30. That was on Saturday, Triplemania 30. That was a lot of great matchup, just a lot of emotion from the crowd, from both competitors, a bloody type of war. And that was the first time I really heard the crowd. The crowd was not very well mic'd during the show, to say the least. And then silver medal, I'll give it to Death Triangle versus Best Friends. I've never seen anything less than a very good matchup between these two, and that was a great opener for Dynamite. Just probably the best match from AEW for the week. And number 1, the gold medalist, I'm going to go from Triplemania 30. I'm going with Rey Fenix versus Vikingo. Just crazy athleticism. Both guys are just so talented. 2 of the best high flyers in the world. If you just want to see guys doing crazy, ridiculous spots that don't even look like they're human, that's the match for you. And that was my match of the week. So Vikingo and Phoenix get the gold medal from me. But
good one.
Krissy Love, let's let the live chat. You guys can let us know what you think. Do you think what was your gold medal for the week? What was your silver medal? What was your bronze medal? Let us know in the live chat and we'll highlight your comments as we get into our news rundown. WWE news, Miss Krissy Love. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that there are rumors that WWE is considering several changes to its 2023 pay-per-view schedule coming out of the news about day 1, which would include fewer gimmick-named shows.
God bless America. Thank you. Oh my God. What? Keeping it as finally.
This would also include
Tony Khan, you better the playbook is out there Sunday. They look
this would
they out here looking for you, friend. They trying they stealing now. They not even stealing, they taking, they taking lots and lots of notes, and now that Cody is probably in the air of Triple H is even worse. I'm telling you.
This would also include an annual pay-per-view from the UK, in addition to 2 annual shows in Saudi Arabia.
That's good.
WWE is also considering bringing back King of the Ring. The show would also include the Queen's Crown tournament. King of the Ring was dropped as a pay-per-view concept by Vince McMahon after it.
Happy like used to be meaningful. Like it has to make sense.
Yeah, as long as it makes sense, it's all right. It drew weak numbers in two. So Vince McMahon decided to drop the concept, with guaranteed money for Peacock and pay-per-view buys not meaning as much as they used to for WWE. It's now in play again. Talking about on the business end, PW Insider reports that the WWE Network will now be available in the Philippines through Disney Plus starting on November 17th. Live events and on-demand content will be available for the Star brand, which has content similar to Hulu in the United States. It also includes content licensed from other sources in the region. So this could be a sign of things to come, maybe here. I don't know.
I mean, let's see what happens.
We shall see indeed. And then probably the most interesting news, I see a bunch of y'all talking about it in the live chat. Probably the most interesting news of the week. A new report suggests that GCW, Game Changer Wrestling, may be doing something with WWE.
I know they lying.
And GCW owner Brett Lauderdale has commented on the speculation. The Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that the company has something going on with WWE, pointing out that Joey Janela promoted this week's Raw and told everyone on the GCW roster to promote it the same way he did. Wow. Lauderdale issued a statement to Fightful Sean Rossap and Wrestle Inc.'s Nick Hausman, which stayed coy about WWE speculation while also hyping big news to be revealed soon. He said in his quote, "Of course, we are aware of the speculation and the rumors surrounding Game Changer Wrestling right now. We are very excited for the future of GCW, which includes a number of exciting partnerships, as well as a game-changing announcement in regards to how people will be able to stream and watch GCW events going forward. We will make our first of many announcements this Saturday during GCW's event in Detroit, which will air live on Fight TV." Joey Janela took to Twitter on Friday and teased, and I quote, "Huge WrestleMania weekend news coming this weekend regarding GCW's The Collective event while also promoting WWE Crown Jewel." He said, "TGIF, everyone, you know why I love Fridays, because the road to WWE Crown Jewel live from wonderful Saudi Arabia will continue with tonight's SmackDown on Fox."
Is he being a troll?
What will Logan Paul say before his WWE Championship match versus the head of the table, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central?
Wow.
Do you think we are going to live in the world where you can watch GCW on the Peacock?
It's too much for them. It's too much for them. WWE is supposed to be clean cut, wholesome. Like they're not trying to they entertain. They're not trying to if they can't use the doors and the light and their lights, it's over. There's nothing else for GCW then.
I'm here for The Collective on Peacock. I'm here for seeing Nick Gage cut someone with a light tube, and then right after, I'm gonna watch the new season of Bel Air. That's what I want. I want to watch Bel Air, WWE,
I already paid $10
and GCW on the cock.
I already paid $10 for Peacock. I will gladly add more if that is the case, but I do not see them going that way. They're going to make it. They're going to dumb it down. Watch, I'm telling you. All right, just letting you know. NBC don't want it. Peacock don't want it.
You're not thinking about the potential of GCW and WWE. Look at this is just great potential right there, Miss Krissy Love.
It is great potential, but they're going to. I'm just trying to tell you what they're going to do to GCW.
Hey, real quickly, I'm going to switch this real quick. we're going to hear from the gentleman we just spoke of.
All right, ready when you are.
Hey guys, I may have go away heat, but these guys have Tru Heel Heat. So you better listen to the podcast or else I'm going to kick you in your fucking cock and balls.
See, he's not gonna be able to do all that stuff. Cock and balls, really, on Peacock.
Hey, he's ready to kick you in the peacock and balls with some GCW.
Okay, fine. Okay, that's what we're doing now. Okay, great. Yep.
Moving on to the AEW news, Miss Krissy Love. WWE held a DX reunion for the 25th anniversary a couple of weeks ago in
Oh my
Brooklyn.
God. I'm so happy I can go to that episode, that show. I'm so happy.
And Billy Gunn of AEW was noticeably not involved. However, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that there were serious, meaningful discussions between WWE and All Elite Wrestling to make it happen at one point. It was noted that WWE never offered money to use Gunn, and Tony Khan never asked for it. At one point, Khan agreed to let Gunn appear, but he wanted them to mention that he was in AEW in some way. That could have been mentioning the company on air, or that AEW allowed him to appear, but just one mention, as WWE did when Mickie James appeared in the Royal Rumble while working for Impact Wrestling. WWE stalled on giving Khan a definitive answer, then decided to turn him down at the last minute, and Gunn didn't appear. It was noted that if Triple H wanted it to happen, he could have made it happen. It's possible that WWE didn't want to risk a chant of "Scissor Me, Daddy" or "Daddy Ass" on their show. Fight for Select adds that talks progressed to the point that WWE prepared travel in Gunn's name, thinking it would happen. One proposed solution was a lower third graphic with an AEW logo, but that didn't happen either. And I think that this information was probably came right from the top, either Tony Khan or someone else, because earlier this week, Road Dogg was just trying to bury AEW. Like, oh my God, they let us down. They let Billy down. Billy really wanted to be there, but it just didn't work out. It was more on them than it was on us. Road Dogg, you ain't slick, my dude. Just stop. Sit down in the corner and shut the fuck up. How about that? You got your job back. Do your job. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking so dumb. Stop doing this podcast, honestly. You and Bruce need to stop doing your podcast. Just work on WWE full time and stop being dumb. And this reminds me, Road Dogg also had a comment about, I don't know if you saw, Miss Krissy Love, there was a lot of social media conversation about Athena versus Jody Threat from AEW Dark. Fightful Select reported that that the two ladies had a matchup that AEW management thought was too aggressive, and apparently Jody Threat mistimed or didn't remember a spot in her comeback, and then Athena improvised and got a little aggressive and did some very physical looking moves, but it became a whole big thing about AEW needs a performance center, and AEW has all these botches that doesn't happen in WWE. You had people that we love and respect, former guests on this show, commented on it, saying that, oh, they need to get it together. They're, retweeting whole highlight video packages of AEW botches. And then Road Dogg commented on that friend of ours post and said, oh yeah, they need to get it together. There's small ball mentality with what they're doing there. And Road Dogg, mind you, never said a goddamn word about the Acolytes beating the ass of Public Enemy back in like 1999, but he got something to say when it's a black woman fighting another woman in a ring. Shut the fuck up, Road Dogg. Just shut the fuck up, you Uncle Fuck. Oh, you're not even Uncle Tom, because that's Booker T. Yeah. But you are just a fucking Trump supporter. You could tell.
It's so bad, because now, like, as an adult, it like puts like people that you really like when you were a child, they keep tarnishing any and everything that you loved about them. It's just like trickles away. Like I can't even that's why I was like, I refuse to go to a show and pay for it, and then y'all, it's this big reunion. I was there for 5 minutes, and then it's like, what do I really want to see you guys? Not really. No, I'm okay. I can sit home. It's fine.
Oh, we got Romeo who says, Road Dogg wake up every day and tweet something religious and inspiring and does anything but afterward.
Wow. Now that's funny.
It's like what
That
they
is
say.
funny.
The strippers and the girls that get all nasty in the club on Saturday be the first one in the first pew on Sunday. That's Road Dogg. Road Dogg be the first one to tweet something religious, and then he'll be very negative and insulting to the people that like you go against everything you just said, bro.
Sad. So sad.
I hate him so much. I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm
man.
sorry. I can't get over the fact that X-Pac used to be the most least popular member, and he's the only one cool in 2022.
You know what?
All them other dudes look like they aged by like 50 years. X-Pac still looks about 30.
Yeah, X-Pac. He the only thing that's really missing is mostly his voice. Is like it goes in and out, to be honest. But yeah, everyone else look like they have had a rough life. The last like 10 years of them is just like aged them like so much, and they're all not even that old. It's so sad.
And our producer with another good point. How Road Dogg's opinion changes when he doesn't get a job with AEW and goes back to WWE.
You know what? Because he was on there.
Yep. As previously reported, Warner Brothers
Interesting.
Discovery executive Kathleen Finch has said that they are exploring bringing more AEW content to their networks. It seems that AEW is now taking steps forward to do just that. Fightful Select reports that AEW talent and staff were told last week that AEW will produce a docu-series that will go behind the scenes with a group of AEW talent. Talent were given the option to not be involved if they don't want to be. Filming begins in November at the Baltimore edition of AEW Dynamite and will last 6 weeks through the taping in Garland, Texas on December 14th. The plan is to air it in 2023. Tony Khan is the executive producer, along with Sam Burns, executive producer of Shed Media. So if you want some wrestling reality television, it's coming.
Okay.
There you go. Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that extras close to Thunder Rosa have not been booked for recent episodes of AEW television. This includes Kylan King, who was seemingly on the verge of a push. Maddie Rankowski and Jasmine Allura also haven't been booked. There's no word on why this is. Thunder Rosa is still the AEW Women's World Champion, but is currently out of action with a back injury. And Thunder Rosa recently fired back at those who are criticizing her for remaining AEW Women's World Champion while out with an injury and gave an update on when she might return. Rosa is currently the champion while Toni Storm is the current interim champion. Storm recently said in an interview that she is looking forward to facing Rosa and said, "I think that's been bothering a lot of people because she's still calling herself the AEW Women's World Champion and I'm the one here every week doing the work." Rosa,
well, I mean, technically, okay, sorry.
Rosa addressed the situation on Busted Open Radio recently on complaints of her still being the champion. She said, "Toni Storm had something to say about Thunder Rosa and the interim championship. I really wanted to address this because it has come to my attention, not necessarily from the people at the place where I work, but some veterans have informed me that there is a widespread of lies going on in different parts, and I'm part of these rumors. When I read this comment about the interim championship, it came to me as no surprise. I have not been on national TV for the last 2 months, and my name keeps being mentioned for good or for bad. The first month and a half was a lot of the former. A lot of controversy around Thunder Rosa and what Thunder Rosa was and was not doing. First, with people diminishing my line of work. It is interesting because as a Latina, and for a long time I tried to stay away from it, but it is time for me to say something about my work. As a Latina, it is very hard to make a name for yourself. I'm not a second generation wrestler. I am self-made. I had the great chance to work in many companies and they believe in my work. Sometimes it just takes one privileged person or someone with clout to like a tweet and destroy everything you have done. It influences how fans see and perceive you as a wrestler. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about how one of my coworkers had to come out and do a live feed. If you don't hear it from me, just don't say anything. If you're in the back and you're in distress about me being the champion or being called the champion, I don't call the shots. I have a boss and there is a booker in our office that make the decisions. If you're distraught about what is being booked, maybe you should go talk to the booker and keep my name out of your mouth."
Ooh.
On rumors that she faked the injury, she said, "It's really hard when people are approaching you and are still asking if I'm faking an injury. These rumors were started by one or two people and they spread. I don't feel like any other wrestler has gone through this. When someone gets hurt, oh, they're hurt. When it was me, it was immediate. It was a flood of disgusting things that were not true that came out. I'm sick of it. It's hard for me to manage some of this stuff, but I have to face it. I am hurt. If you have something to ask, go watch my YouTube videos. I've posted every time I'm in a doctor's office showing and explaining what's going on with me. In another week or two, I'm getting another epidural so I can go back to training because I want to get back in the ring. I want to show you when they put the needle in my back so they can shut the fuck up and saying I'm not hurt. That hurts." And she did confirm she is trying to come back in January. But what do you think about Thunder Rosa's comments and addressing all these nasty rumors about her?
Keep them coming, because the haters are always gonna hate, so you have to like shut it down all the time. And she is the champion. She just is injured, so you have an interim champion. So I don't understand like why people don't understand why she's saying that she's the champion, because she is. She's just injured. The whole point of it was to get someone to fill in the position while she's not there.
And like at the end of the day, it was Tony Khan's choice. Tony Khan legitimately just said, "Okay, we're gonna strip you of the title." It would have been a horrible look after you let CM Punk keep the title.
Right.
He could have done that. He could have done that. If you're so unhappy about the interim championship or you don't believe her injury, he could have stripped her of the title. She's absolutely right. It's on Tony Khan is the booker. Thunder Rosa is not the booker. You could be mad at Thunder Rosa for 1,000,001 things. She hit people too hard, like we read before, or she yelled at someone that one time. You could be mad at her for a whole bunch of things, but that's not one of them.
She's right, though. I mean, like, let her. It's unfortunate that she has to like prove herself and tell everybody about this, but it is what it is. Like, I'm gonna just have to just keep telling y'all, so yeah, don't forget.
Pretty much so. We had New Japan Pro Wrestling news. They announced the lineup for their Rumble on 44th Street event on October 28th. The New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships will be defended in a three-way Aussie Open versus Motor City Machine Guns versus Kevin Knight and the DKC. KOPW 2022 trophy will be up for grabs. Shingo Takagi versus El Phantasmo. You can vote on New Japan NJPW 1972 to vote on the stipulation for this matchup. Jay White and Juice Robinson of the Bullet Club will versus Kazuka Okada and Eddie Kingston of AEW. Rocky Romero and Yo will versus Yujiro Takahashi and Sho. And Minoru Suzuki will go one-on-one with Clark Connors, who's going to be making his first appearance since his injury back a few months back. And they will also be doing a special Halloween show on Thursday, October 28th, that will have an entire mystery card. So should be very interesting from New Japan as they return to New York for the first time since 2019, Miss Krissy Love.
Wow, that's pretty big. Right before the pandemic? That's crazy.
Indeed, indeed. In our final wrestling news notes, a former WWE roster member is on their way to Impact in the very near future, according to a new report. PW Insider reports that PJ Black, who was Justin Gabriel in WWE, is on his way to Impact Wrestling. The site reports that Black is expected to work the Impact tapings this weekend in Las Vegas. Black was with WWE from 2008 until 2015 and made some appearances for Impact after 2015. He was with Ring of Honor from 2018 until the company's hiatus at the end of 2021. In other Impact Wrestling news, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that this year's Bound for Glory did surprisingly well against stiff competition from WWE and AEW. The show was on a Friday against SmackDown and Rampage, and in spite of that, the show had 1,840 pay-per-view buys, which is up 46% from the 1,260 pay-per-view buys for Slammiversary earlier this year. This is still down from previous years, but still an improvement overall over their last pay-per-view. And then we got some GCW shows this weekend, Miss Krissy Love. We will do the Tru Heel Heat prediction champion for our contributors, and for our Patreon backers, our patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. But I'll get predictions for the top matches for each card from you. You got GCW Drop Dead later tonight. You're going to have Nick Wayne versus Gringo Loco, Shane Mercer versus Tommy Vendetta, Jimmy Lloyd versus Hoodfoot, Bussy versus Chase Burnett and MM3. You also got Jonathan Gresham versus Yamada and Commander versus Shun Skywalker. But there are going to be 2 title matches tonight, Miss Krissy Love. GCW Extreme Championship. Cole Radrick will defend against Blake Christian. Who walks out with the gold?
Blake Christian.
I'm going to go with Cole Radrick to retain. And then in a GCW staple, Miss Krissy Love, GCW tag team titles are on the line in a DLC match, not a digital download on your game, but doors, ladders, and chairs. The Mega Bastards of Alex Colon and John Wayne Murdoch will defend against Second Gear Crew, Mance Warner and Matthew Justice, and Los Masitos Ciclope and Miedo Extremo. I'm going with the Mega Bastards. Who you got?
I think that's what I picked too.
Mega Bastards to retain.
Yep.
And then you got GCW Moment of Clarity tomorrow night in Columbus, Ohio. Alley Catch will versus Billy Starks. You got Blake Christian versus Yamada. You got Jonathan Gresham versus Speedball Mike Bailey. That is a dream match I'm looking forward to. Second Gear Crew, Mance Warner, Matthew Justice, and Effie will versus Team Unsanctioned, Jeffrey John, Lord Crew, and Aaron Williams. And then GCW Tag Team Championships, whoever is the champions will face Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne. I think the Mega Bastards are going to retain both times, both nights. What do you think?
Both nights? Yeah, both times. They have to win.
But let's get to the real predictions, Miss Krissy Love, because tonight, the Peacock Network, you got WWE NXT's latest premium live event, Halloween Havoc. We want to hear from all of you in the live chat. Give us your final predictions for Halloween Havoc. We had our preview earlier this week, but we're going to get our final predictions from everyone here. I want to highlight a few comments. I see here Will Chisholm saying, why is Tony Khan letting women talk shit about Thunder Rosa? Please be a boss.
It's so sad. Yeah, he's
right.
I can't make excuses for him, guys. I don't know. He is. It's so sad. It's really like, but you know, it's kind of like the Vince McMahon MO when it comes down to, like, you know, Charlotte or Becky or whatever. So it's like you kind of like, yeah.
Of it. We got Frantic World who says, wait, if GCW is going to work with WWE, will we see some AEW wrestlers on Peacock? No, we won't, because AEW wrestlers have been told not to work in GCW. So you won't have to worry about that. But let's get into the predictions. NXT Halloween Havoc is tonight. They got a 6-match card. The show will be hosted by Shotzi, making her return to NXT, along with NXT's own the Super Diva Quincy Elliott, who I absolutely adore.
He's like what was the guy back in our era? Was Mabel.
He's like if Mabel and Goldust had a baby.
Yes, because it's the same outfits, but he acts like Goldust. Exactly. Yep, that's it right there.
So
great,
of course,
great job, SP.
With Halloween Havoc, you got the staple of spin the wheel, make the deal. Let's talk about this first match here. Grayson Waller will go one-on-one with Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews returned to NXT in the summer and drawed the ire of Grayson Waller, feeling like he was hopping over him in line in going up the ladder of NXT. Waller defeated Crews by blinding him in the eye after weeks of Apollo Crews saying that he sees visions, and we've even seen his vision of the future. So Apollo decided to make Grayson feel like him, bludgeoning his eyes, and now we have a spin the wheel, make a deal matchup. I'm going with Apollo Crews to get his win back here in what will probably be an eye for an eye match or a blindfold match.
Yeah. I'm definitely going Apollo Crews because he has to win. Of course, he has to like get some type of like meaning. Make it meaningful. Like tell me why he's here. Like make it make sense, friend. But yes, it's definitely going to be an eye for an eye or something like where you can't see something dumb. I know that for sure.
Indeed. Yes, we got to you, my boy Blue, saying Big Daddy V. Yeah, we'll call it Quincy Elliott, Big Daddy Q. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
That was the other name for Mabel. Viscera, Big Daddy
Viscera. Yes, there we go. Yep.
And Safid, I'm pretty sure Chucky will show up since he was all over NXT this week as well. In another match that was spin the wheel, make the deal, but we saw the spin of the wheel already, and it will be a Weapons Wild match as it's going to be Cora Jade going one-on-one with Roxanne Perez. The two women were introduced as best friends after Cora Jade opened the door for Roxanne Perez to arrive in NXT, and she hit the ground running, winning the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, earning her shot at the NXT Women's Championship. But before that, the two women teamed up to win the NXT Women's Tag Team Gold, the first title for Cora Jade in NXT. But the very next week, Roxanne Perez decided she wanted the NXT Women's Championship, and Cora Jade got jealous, deciding to screw over her friend, costing her the championship, then throwing the women's tag team titles into the trash. Cora Jade defeated Roxanne Perez at Heat Wave to get the one-up on her, but Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez have been at each other's throat. It comes to an end at Halloween Havoc. Who wins Weapons Wild, Krissy?
I'm going with Perez.
Yeah, this is a big one. This is probably the most confident I am in a pick. I'm going with Roxanne Perez to win there.
If she don't win, this is stupid. Then it just makes no sense. Like, come on.
Ambulance match, Miss Krissy Love. Julius Creed will go one-on-one with Damian Kemp. If Julius loses, Brutus Creed will have to leave NXT. These two men were a part of Diamond Mine, with Julius Creed kind of being the rising star of the group, while Damian Kemp was the bottom feeder, kind of the trainee of the Creed brothers and Roderick Strong. But that jealousy overcame him, and he decided to tear down Diamond Mine from within, beating down Roderick Strong in the parking lot at NXT Worlds Collide, and then costing the Creed brothers the NXT Tag Team Championships. Since then, he's cost them their rematch. He's beaten Brutus Creed with a steel chair, and now there's the ambulance match where he'll finally go one-on-one with Julius Creed. I'm going with Creed in this one, but I think Roderick Strong will return, at least after the match, to align with Damian Kemp. I think it was all a ploy all along. Yeah. Who you got winning here?
I definitely was going with Kemp because Creed, excuse me. Creed. Because his brother's not going to go anywhere. That's his tag partner. Like you're not going to break them up. I'm sorry. This just doesn't make any sense. But yes, Roderick is definitely going to get involved in some kind of way. Either like just get distracted. He's going to do something, and he's going to probably be with the other guy. But yes, definitely, I don't see the brothers being broken up yet. No, it's too. They're. What are you going to do with them? Send them to the main roster? No,
not yet. Still a little green. Got to work on that. Yeah. We got other big title matches for the NXT Women's Championship. Mandy Rhodes will defend against Alba Fire. It was last year at NXT Halloween Havoc. Mandy Rhodes started her magical run 59 days going into tonight's show. So Mandy Rhodes needs to win here to make it 1 year reign of Toxic Attraction. But Alba Fire has had her sights set on the Women's Championship since she came over from NXT UK. Can she finally win the gold? Who you got here, Miss Krissy Love?
I'm going Mandy Rhodes. First of all, I was like, wait, is that Dreams and Nightmares? Like, did they use Meek Mill? Is this a part of their
They use the music?
Right, I'm just saying. The writing on the top, it looked like Dreams. It says the Dream Nightmare match or something like that. So I'm like, oh, I could have sworn. I was like, are they missing the and Dreams and Nightmares? Like, I mean, just But Mandy she has to win. Mandy needs to win.
Yeah,
Alba is gonna win, but not yet. I feel like it's just not yet.
Alba doesn't feel like she's hot. Pun intended, hot enough to win the championship. I'm not talking about the looks. I'm just talking about the momentum she has It doesn't feel like she is ready to win the championship. I tend to feel like Roxanne Perez will be more ready to win the championship following finishing her feud with Cora Jade than Alba Fire will. That probably would be the best person to end this reign, but you're not going to end the almost near 1 year reign 6 days before it becomes 1 year.
That's true. Very true. Yeah.
And then you got the NXT North American Championship will be decided in a ladder match, Miss Krissy Love, because NXT loves them the multi-man ladder matches. Is going to be Carmelo Hayes, Oro Mensah, Wesley, Von Wagner, and Nathan Frazier. On the NXT Following Worlds Collide, Solo Sikoa defeated Carmelo Hayes to win the NXT North American Championship. Then the title was held up because Solo Sikoa wasn't supposed to be in the match. Wesley was. So you got Wesley in here, the man that was beaten down by Carmelo Hayes and stopped from getting his shot at the NXT Championship. Or a Mensah from NXT UK. Von Wagner's been built as this monster, and Nathan Frazier coming off the heels of a trilogy with Axiom that has been ravely reviewed. Who you got here, Miss Krissy Love?
This is a hard one because I feel like it's a toss between Wes and Carmelo. I really feel like it's like that's the coin toss. That's the one that's the factor. I don't see any of the other guys being the winners. It just wouldn't make sense yet. But if I have to go, first of all, Carmelo should have never lost the belt in the first place. But that's just
very true.
Just another story, because if you guys knew, well, I don't know if they knew that they were going to make Solo go up to the main roster, but I feel like it was too soon for him to even win the damn title and from the get-go. But that's just me. That's just me. Whatever. I'm going to go Carmelo.
I'm gonna go with Wesley in this one. The only reason, if you put the title right back on Carmelo Hayes, then none of the last month makes any sense. Why did you have to take the title off of him to begin with? So
that's also very true.
It would only make sense to me Wesley would win. I think Nathan Frazier is probably the dark horse, the only other person in this match that has a chance of winning because he feels like he has momentum coming out of the Axiom trilogy. But I think I think you're right. It's going to come down to Lee and Hayes in this one.
And if Lee wins, that just means that Carmelo will kind of be like in that chase for the NXT championship, like, because that's technically where I thought that's why they stripped him, so that they could put him in that forefront for that. But now we're having the match that we're going to talk about soon for the NXT championship. But it's like, why put him backwards when it could be I don't know. He could have been a factor for this particular match. It's kind of fun. It's kind of sketchy. I don't know. I might change my answer by the end of the show. Who knows?
Well, we got one more match to give our predictions for, Miss Krissy Love. NXT Championship is up for grabs in a triple threat match. Braun Breaker will defend against the former NXT UK champion Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough. JD McDonough defeated Tyler Bate to earn the #1 contendership, but Ilya Dragunov soon inserted himself into play since he was the former NXT UK champion before it was unified with the NXT championship and never lost his title since he was relinquished due to injury. He wanted a shot, and this was made a triple threat matchup. JD McDonough has put Ilya against Braun in the lead up to this, feeling like he has all the mind games control in this one, but who's going to walk out with the NXT championship? And a bigger question, will Austin Theory decide to attempt to cash in Money in the Bank?
I don't see him cashing in. Not yet. Because he has to be a troll still. But I'm going to go Dragunov as the winner.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I would go with Dragunov, but I'm going to go with Braun Breaker here. And I think, yes, Austin Theory will cash in Money in the Bank and walk out of Halloween Havoc as your new NXT champion. I think Theory versus Breaker is the main event for the next premium live event from NXT.
Okay. Well, because I guess that would make more sense because we all know that Austin Theory is not going against Roman Reigns. He will cash in and he will not win. It won't be successful. So for him to be successful, he has to do it on NXT. Got it. Makes so much sense. I left the brand that I need to go to so I can come back and be the winner here. Okay, I can dig it. I can see it. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not a Braun Breaker fan anyway, so it's just whatever. I don't really give a damn who really wins this match because I don't really care for him. But I do like your theory, SP. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Get Braun while he's at his weakest and then cash in. And I forget that you can go from brand to NXT too. So got it.
We got Romeo who says none of these guys feel worthy of the level that Carmelo has brought to the North American title. That's to say that Carmelo has brought the North American title to any level. I mean, it felt like the most important title for a long time in NXT, but that's because Carmelo was putting on great matches. Are you telling me Nathan Frazier or Wes Lee can't put on the same great matches? You're bugging. That's a comment you didn't think too well about, in my opinion. But yes, that is all for the card for Halloween Havoc. Join us later tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Romeo will be here. All the crew, the gang will be here for our Halloween Havoc watch along. So join everyone for that one. Will you be here, Miss Krissy Love? Pop in.
I will try to hop in and be on for a few minutes. Yes.
There you go. I won't try.
No, I'm definitely going to try. I have an event this evening, but I definitely will try to pop in and say hey to the group, to the chat real quick.
There you go. So join us live, NXT Halloween Havoc watch along later tonight. But that is all for the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. Miss Krissy Love, let the people know where they can follow you and see you next time.
Hey, my good friends, and all House of Dragon lovers. So you can find me every Saturday here on our flagship show of Tru Heel Heat at 11:05 a.m. with SP. Top guy JJ is like Brock Lesnar. He'll come in whenever he can. But we love him and miss him. I think he's supposed to be coming the next week. He'll be on, right?
200. I thought it was
200. I think he did say just 200, right? Okay, so you'll see us on the big show on the 14th. Other than that, it's Serving Face and Heels. It's on Sunday. We will be back probably next month. Scheduling has been not our friend this month, and we apologize for that, guys. We are so sorry. Anywho, other than follow IG, Facebook, and on Twitter, Tru Heel Krissy Love on Twitter. IG is just Krissy Love, and that is all.
Romeo once again saying none of them can talk like Mello. Come on now. Mello can't talk like Trick. What's your point? Move on. Come on. Stop it.
You know, he always has to debate people. It's fine. That's just what Romeo does. We love him though.
Awful NXT show. And he asks, where did that House of Dragons come from?
Why we always rip House of Dragons. Why not have it in? The season finale is tomorrow. I cannot wait. Matter of fact, Romeo and I should do a show about the House of Dragons.
Season finale of Raising Kanan is tomorrow. That's what I can't wait for.
That's also can I just say that my favorite character on that show is Marvin. Marvin is the GOAT.
Oh, I want to hug you. I'm sorry. Marvin and Jukebox having their moment in episode 8 is one of my happiest moments in Power history.
Like, I love you, but I'm not gonna say I love you. But you know that I've been trying to do better.
Because after the episode that Jukebox had, she needed that moment.
Yeah, no. Marvin is the gem of the show. He be doing dumb stuff, but he really be trying. Let me SP can talk about this just in case people ain't catch up. But Marvin is the GOAT.
And it's crazy because London Brown, the actor that plays Marvin, was the character I hated the most on HBO Ballers. Because
yes, that's where he's from. Yes, yeah, oh my God.
He played Reggie. He played the Vernon's manager.
Right. Yeah, yeah. He was. Yes, that's where he is from. And he would always get on my nerves. I'm like, yo, why you a hater, son? Why are you a hater to The Rock, son? Like, you can't stand Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and you just won't let him be. Like, but no, he plays his role so well. I love how we just like sidetrack and talk about Raising Kanan.
No, I love it. I was thinking of ways to make a reference to that or Atlanta, so you helped me. I appreciate it. But you can
Such
follow
good
me.
stuff, man.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month, the Tru Heel Heat post show, Tru Heel Heat prediction champion, plus more exclusive content. Twitch.tv/Tru Heel Heat. Dark Power will be up later today at 6:35 p.m. Eastern time. So check that over there. And ProWrestlingTees.com/Tru Heels for your Tru Heel Heat merchandise. But that is all for Tru Heel Heat 198. Join us at 2 p.m. Eastern time over on the Tru Heel Heat Sports YouTube channel, Tru Heel Heat Sports number 64, UFC 280 watch along with Romeo and the gang. Check us out over there. But for now, for Miss Krissy Love, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 198. How did we get here? We are signing off until next time.
Later.